Welcome to Tuber Chat. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We're going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. The very first channel that we're looking at today is Backyard Trucker. And this is a channel we've seen many times before, even at the beginning of the stream like this. Right before we started, they dropped a super chat, and here on this channel, while we don't solicit things like that, they're always appreciated when they do happen. So whenever we have a super chat or a membership gift, we put those creators on the screen right away in order, and then we'll get around to spinning the wheel that I have on the screen, which right now is full of members. They're always added to the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat, but over the course of the next 3 hours, I will add names to the wheel occasionally from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. So Backyard Trucker, obviously an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter here, has been ever since finding us many months ago. I think it has to have been a year by now. It's got to be getting close. Backyard Trucker is working on 1,500 subscribers now, and this is a creator who's evolved quite a bit into a lot of activity. They're literally on just about every single day. So they let us know when they started the channel that they were going to film just about anything and everything that could be interesting, put it online for everybody to see. But they also take us on the road. They happen to be a self-employed truck driver, small businessman. They do some of their own repairs and things like that. So there's a few do-it-yourself videos on the channel. They take us on the road with them frequently, almost every day. And they've done really well with some of the dash cam footage that's come from those trips. You see in the shorts videos here that they've gotten into 12,000, 13, and even 14,000 views. Live streams, they found some success as well. They've been pushing out these vertical live streams, and occasionally the algorithm really catches them. You can see just a day ago they had a good live stream, and then not too long before that, it seems, and it happens to them occasionally, which is great. I think there's a combination of this creator being so active, publishing all the different types of content, and then being very supportive to other channels as well. I run into them constantly, not just here in Tuber Chat, but out in other premieres and live streams when I'm out trying to support other channels myself as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Backyard Trucker. Thank you again for that super chat. Absolutely unnecessary, but very much appreciated. Of course, he's done that countless times before, and for that reason we put his channel up right away. Just to speed things up for today, I do this occasionally, but I'm going to put up Marketplace Boutique right away. I know these creators are BFFs, if you want to put it that way, and it's great to see creators supporting each other so much. Now, Marketplace Boutique brings a very different, one-of-a-kind channel into the Tuber Chat family. They're working on 1,500 subscribers as well. You can see right away comes up a tribute for Backyard Trucker over there. So Marketplace Boutique is monetized, of course, lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. She's evolved on her channel as well and expanded the content over the last year or so. But this creator specializes in bringing us the ideas behind e-commerce, particularly with platforms like eBay. Some of the tasks that are required if you're going to get into merchandise or selling things online, listing and shipping can be a daunting task to learn, but a very simple task after you know how to get things done. It's very quick and easy. Marketplace Boutique brings the magic on her channel by showing us how to find the right things to buy and sell if that's something we want to do. And she's been doing this a long, long time, since 1998. But she expanded the content on her channel actually right from the beginning. She expands more and more today. So sometimes she takes us out on the road. Sometimes she gives us a tutorial on how to use a program like Canva to make banners and emojis and things like that. And then as well, she's got shorts on the channel. These bring pure variety. These have gotten now into 12,000, 14,000, even 19,000 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. So she could be on the water, she could be by the fire, she could be taking us on the road, and she's live pretty frequently and here with us every day in Tuber Chat or every time that we're on. So Hopefully everybody will connect with Backyard Trucker and Marketplace Boutique. You'll find them never too far behind each other, but even here in our Tuber Chat streams, just about every time we're on. So thank you again. Backyard Trucker, Marketplace Boutique is out there supporting creators as well. And we got quite a bit of action in the chat right now. Home Bartending with John, my dear goodness, is gifting 5 memberships there. So I'm going to put their channel up on the screen right away. And John has been an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter ever since finding us. He happens to be a silver member as well. So we see his channel every single day here in the Tuber Chat streams. Whether or not he's here, he's got a slide that runs at the beginning, middle, and end of every live stream, and we'll see that several times throughout today. So thank you for that extra generous support. I really do appreciate that. We've also got a highlighted milestone message from Rambling with the Brooms, and he's been with us as a member for almost 3 years. All moderators on this channel are dear friends of mine. They're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels, and they all do different things, but one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity, and for that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you'll be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your own channel the same way we do here in Tuber Chat. And I know we've got quite a few introductions to go through. I'm way behind in the chat today. KP Heathen is going to be added to the wheel. We always put members on the wheel along with moderators as soon as we see them in the chat. So Canadian Family Life and Butler Family Farm are on there. My Traveling Gypsy Tarot and Rushing Wind Mountain were both early in the door. Lisa J. Stocks and Controversial Cruising are both here. And then Scratch and PPA, of course, is in the pole position. He's one of the most supportive creators that I've met in my 7 years on YouTube. Here is a beloved and dedicated moderator. Michael's Adventures will send his regards in any stream where he can't be with us. He's actually dropping a premiere right now. So you'll know after the first couple hundred subscribers that you start following, it's going to become eventually impossible not to have the same time slots as some of your friends if you're dropping premieres and live streams. But Michael's Adventures will be dropping a lengthy one right now. He's working on going from his 3,000 hours of watch time to the 4,000, but another one of the most supportive creators that I've met in my YouTube journey, and he's here with us otherwise every stream that he can be, or for every stream that he can be. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. I never mean to miss anybody in the chat. As long as you're still active, we should get around to saying hello to everyone. AceFlaw1 is Andy. He's been with me for about 5 years. Facts Chest is in the house. That's still a tongue twister for me. Huga Homestead is a friend of 4 years, and Lewis Acre Farm Karma's here with us just about every stream. Living Large with L Crew is an incredibly energetic creator, paranormal poet, does some interesting narration. I watched one of their videos this morning. Pixie Dust Travelers in the house, stitching it up, capturing country life is with us, and Trina's Motivation is a friend of, I've lost track of how many years. I think she's been with me 3 years too. Something like that. And hopefully everybody takes inspiration from the idea that I literally start to lose track of how long these friendships have gone on. And what that means is that you have the opportunity to meet generous creators that are going to be there to support you years into the future. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all find each other? That's basically what we're here for. So, again, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. And Bella's Whisper Farmstead slipped a super chat in there, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate that extra generous support, and of course the positivity in the chat as well. Bella's Whisper Farmstead's done that countless times also, so we'll look at her channel next. We'll get to spinning the wheel shortly. Emerther Aliens, good to see you in the house. R&W Farmstead, Tony Walsh, good to have you here. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Home Bartending with John brings us he brings us two one-of-a-kind channels here in the Tuber Chat family. And what he does is teaches us how to make some of the world's most popular cocktails from the comfort of our own home. You don't have to have a home bar set up quite as elaborate as what he's got here for us, but he does show us what it takes to keep a bar like that replenished and the tools we're going to need behind the bar to make some of our favorite cocktails. So when he gives us a recipe, he might also give us a few variations. We all know that sometimes different things are made in different ways, especially due to geographics or cultural differences and things like that. So home bartending with John might surprise you with 2 or 3 variations on a recipe, and he takes requests on his channel. He's done at least a couple for me already, for which I'm grateful. Tons of product reviews on the channel as well, which of course can give us an idea as to whether we're going to like something before we go out and get it. Pardon me. And then as well, he might do comparisons. So he might do a showdown of different types of beers or vodkas or other liquors or liqueurs. He might do a collection of cocktails, like low-calorie cocktails or non-alcoholic mocktails. And those, I imagine, will be popular for years to come on his channel. Pardon me. When we look at home bartending with John, we also see some shorts. These have gotten into 2,500 and 8,700 views, and then live streams are an idea from the past. We'll see if he's going to keep those up. He's long past his 500 subscribers and halfway on the road to 600 now, so I'm hoping we can push him a little bit farther towards that milestone. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, "I am willing to swap playlists." Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And Bella's Whisper Farmstead Kristen is coming up now. She dropped a super chat again. She's done that countless times before. I see Shades of Grey in the house. Hobbytown Chili and Koi is in the house. Precious Gems has been added to the wheel, of course. 99 Midnight Gamer did I catch you for a stream today? I think it was this morning. I think I actually watched one of their videos and caught them for a stream today. Unless it was yesterday. But either way, in the last 24 hours, I caught them. And they do a good job of keeping up with the chat while they're on. They were... I'm always happy to see that, because sometimes when we have friendships here in the Superchat family that are fairly new, if I'm still getting to know a channel, like it's only been a couple of months or something like that, I've only been here a handful of times, then if I've only seen a few videos, I'm unsure as to, how dynamic a creator might be, but 99 Midnight Gamer was doing a great job, and I'm always happy to see that. As well, we always want to encourage anybody that's thinking about making some content in a different way. So we talked about it on the last live stream, but, if somebody was going to live stream, a lot of times we hear from people that they might be shy or unsure about what to do for their very first live stream. One of the questions people might ask is what am I going to talk about on my first live stream? But I promise you, the chat helps to drive the conversation. People will always have questions and comments for you. And then if anybody does have a live stream that's coming up, something special like a monetization celebration, an anniversary, or especially somebody's first live stream, then by all means, anybody can reach out to me anytime. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. So the pipe guy, forgive me, John, I should have known I was going to do that to you, because I said he's got 2 one-of-a-kind channels, and forgive me, Yes, Bella's Whisper Farmstead, forgive me. I'm going to put your channel up in 1 second. I do this to John 100 times, where I forget about the second channel. I don't know why, because it's an interesting one-of-a-kind channel. I've never seen anything like what he's doing on this channel before. So this is Industrial Pipe Lamps and Industrial Pipe Art. And he's got 63 subscribers right now, so we'd love to push him towards the first 100. This is the same creator behind Home Bartending with John. And then when we get into his videos, we see he's put one up already. This one's Star Wars themed. So this is really, really cool, and an extra talent from the same creator behind Home Bartending with John. So forgive me, John, my dear friend. I don't know why I keep doing that to you. And then, there you go. Actually, that's interesting. Just Jason Keto and more. I've been lucky to meet up with him a couple of times. So I'll have to take his word for it when he says he's shy, because we got along well right away. And you can see on his channel, he's got all the confidence in the world. I think a lot of that comes from being very comfortable with the content that you're going to put out, right? One of the clips that we often play from our interview series from one of our friends says, don't make a video about fixing a car if you have no idea how to fix cars. And I can tell you, I actually did that exact same thing. I changed the battery in my truck and I made a video of how to do it, to find out that I'd made a very big mistake. It seems like a very easy thing to do, but if you don't understand the computers in the car and the new controllers that handle the batteries and stuff, which I don't, then you might leave something out. Had to take the video down, and it had thousands of views because I don't want somebody to make the mistake that I made and then go through a battery in a few months. So that's just an idea, but like I said, the chat will help drive the stream. And then hopefully I'm not missing anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, or missing anybody in the chat. And thank you again for your patience, John. Again, I don't know why I keep doing that to you. Bella's Whisper Farmstead slipped in a super chat. She's done that countless times before. This is a channel that intends on bringing us homesteading on a budget, but they actually do a very thorough job of planning their videos and then making their videos. So it says Bella's Whisper Farmstead Kristen, but you'll notice, especially in the last 4 or 5 videos, Kristen and Mike are together. Sometimes they separate the camera work and even the videos, but they always do a very sincere and thorough job, both dynamic creators, mostly outdoors here, unless they're talking about the barn dominium. They've got a brand new video. I haven't seen this one from a couple days ago, so I'm going to put this in a special playlist I have. I call it my catch-up list. That will give me a chance to catch up with them or get caught up with them. And then they've got shorts on the channel as well, all in line with their long form content, getting into 2,600 and 3,300 views and beyond. And then when we look at live streams, we see that they're on occasionally. It's been a month, so my guess is that Kristen's probably going to go and do one again soon. Last few times she took us out for walks around, but they could be mixing up the content by the look of the last few live streams that have been put up. Hopefully I'll catch you for the next one. We got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other, and making sure we catch as much content from each other as we can as well. So there's something that I want to mention before we get to the next channel as well. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. And then Ghostly Winds is in the house from Australia. They always have the most entertaining things to say about the Wheel of Doom. And the catch-up list that I described earlier, where I often put videos for myself to catch up with creators, was actually named by our friend Ghostly Winds. They've been with us about 4 years as well. And I thought I just missed something in the chat, but I could be wrong. And I did want to mention something before we get to the next channel. So you'll know, some of you who've been here many times before will notice that I won't call out channels. I have made the mistake of doing that before when somebody's done something that I want them either not to do or want to suggest that they not do. And got somebody pretty upset once by doing that, so I won't do that. But I do just want to mention, because I may not, sometimes I dance around these speeches too much, and I may not have been as direct the other day as I should have been. But one of the things that I want to recommend for anyone at all, and I'm not talking to 99% of the audience, the idea, yes, but the specifics, no. But what I would wish for everybody, first of all, with YouTube, is that you get what you want out of YouTube. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be the things we talk about here in Tuber Chat, but that's truly what I wish for everyone. Another thing that I wish, though, is that everybody would have patience with each other. There's a very important life lesson that has come from social media. It didn't used to be there 30 years ago before we started with texting, Messenger, YouTube comments, chat messages like this. What happens is somebody can say something through text, like for instance in a live stream, and that thing can be taken the wrong way. So what I have myself learned to do over my lifetime as well, when somebody says something that triggers me, I take a step back and I just don't respond. The magic about text, email, Messenger, YouTube chat messages and things like that, we don't have to respond right away. You can give it a minute, you can respond tomorrow, right? Because when you think about what somebody might have said and you say, hey, that's really triggering, like who you think you're talking to, then you might do well to just take a moment and say, hey, maybe I'm taking what they said the wrong way. Even though I can't imagine what on earth they meant, it sounds or looks very offensive, we have to remember that there are different cultural differences between people, even in different countries that are right beside each other. And I'll give you an example. One of the biggest countries, at least in the first year of Superchat, and it continues today, but it's up there in the top for our audience, is Jamaica. A lot of our friends from Jamaica will come in and say goodnight, everyone. And the first couple of times I saw that, I said, hey, what do you mean goodnight? We're not leaving. What are you talking about? Because in Canada, or at least for myself and anybody I've ever met, we don't say that. We don't say goodnight as you're entering, as you're like opening a conversation. So it took me a minute to understand that. That's an example of what I mean. Somebody might say something in a chat, forgive my long speech again, but I just wish everybody would have patience with each other, because I promise you, once the conflicts start, it can really spiderweb out very, very fast, especially because a community like this is so much larger than it was 4 years ago. Charlene Heal, good to see you in the house, and thank you so much for a super chat. I also noticed that the Stock Explorer slipped in there. I don't know how they have time for super chat. I figured they'd be dancing over the price jump in Dogecoin over the last couple of days. I've been doing that myself. But I'll get the Stock Explorer onto the wheel. Charlene Heal we're going to look at next, because they dropped that super chat. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen right away when that happens, and then we'll get right back to spinning the wheel. And forgive me if I missed anything that anybody meant for me to see in the chat. I tend to fall behind, especially when I'm talking so much. And Wilma to you one, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. And RR Vlogs, good to see you here. Forgive me, I saw you earlier. I didn't say hello. I saw you like probably 10 minutes ago, but thank you for being here. And yes, let's move on. If anybody, if I missed anything, just, let me know and I'll elaborate if I need to. So Rushing Wind Mountain is up on the screen. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Yeah, Scott's going to make me laugh now in the chat, rambling with the brooms. You know what the interesting thing is as well? For people like Kristen Welton, my girlfriend, or friends that I hang out with, or if I have to work every day, it never stops. Like, it's not like we do Tuber Chat for 3 hours and then I rest. No, the talk just keeps going, and it's mostly YouTube, but it could be anything. And when we were children, me and my sister, my sister used to be the one to talk all the time, and I used to complain about it. Like, she never stops talking, and I don't know when the switch changed, that I am the one who never seems to stop, but that's why doing live streams like this is like perfect for me, because I can talk endlessly for 3 hours. But we'll try to speed things up now a little bit. And then, yes, I've actually been with Charlene Heal a couple of times on both of her channels, but she's been a dear friend for about 4 years as well. So has Rushing Wind Mountain. When you see the name Ruby in the chat, this is who we're talking about. This is another incredibly supportive creator. Not only are they here for every Tuber Chat live stream, but I run into them constantly supporting other creators and have ever since knowing them. They now have crossed their 5,000 subscribers, which is great to see, and they come from the Pacific Northwest. They bring us nature and wildlife videos. A lot of what they do might be considered along the same lines or in the same ballpark as ASMR, because they're giving us pleasing audio to go along with pleasing visuals. Some of these are loops, some of these are lengthy, and their videos range anywhere from a minute up to hours long. It's really interesting the way that they're mixing those things up here. As well, Rushing Wind Mountain has got some humor on the channel. If you dig through some of these shorts videos with more wildlife, you'll get into 11,000, 12,000, 16,000 views on a few of these, and then live streams on the channel as well. So these are more of the same, but this creator has also experimented with the horizontal and the vertical live streams, and there's a lot of these changes that have happened on YouTube over the last long while, but some creators are still finding a bit of success with those vertical live streams. Thank you, Rushing Wind Mountain. Yes. Scratch Off Fever with Old Blue Eyes. Good to see you in the house. If anybody was to wonder, they might say, for some of you who are here regularly would know, you've heard me say a million times, I do some outdoor work on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But I also complain that I've gained a lot of weight over the last couple of years, and that seems to continue. And you wonder to yourself, how could somebody possibly be working that hard and gain that kind of weight? Well, I really don't work that hard. And then I should be careful the way I say this, but a few years ago, after we started YouTube, I started introducing my friend that I work with to the other social networks, because I've been in social forever. But I said, oh, you got to check out Instagram. Instagram is where it's at. And keep in mind, this was 5 years ago. But then TikTok was like, oh, we better check out TikTok. And then I, kind of rubbed off the idea of, hey, I check out every social network just to know what they are. Some of them I don't use, but most of them I do. And that takes up a lot of time now. So even when we're working, there's a lot of sitting around on the phone and catching up with other things. Not so much for myself, but I'm guilty of it too. But Rushing Wind Mountain, thank you for that. And Charlene Heel is going to come up next. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So, yeah, Scott mentioned the idea, actually, just because Scott and Jason are in the chat at the same time, both Canadians, both only a few hours away from me, but we managed to meet up with a couple other people this past summer in Toronto, and Scott's coming back in January for something special, so we'll hopefully make a point, and hopefully Jason can come out for that as well. But I'm always up for meetups whenever we can make those happen. Charlene Heel is up on the screen. This is another creator who's been with us probably for 4 years now. She's working on 2,500 subscribers on this channel. She's got another one. She's monetized lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Her banner says wellness coaching, but she always brings motivation, inspiration, and a lot of guests on the channel to share their motivation, inspiration, and life experiences as well. I've joined her on both of her channels, probably more than once as a matter of fact. And Charlene Heel's always got a lot of interesting guests, but she spreads positivity everywhere she goes, and she's out there supporting other creators all the time as well. You'll see some familiar faces in some of her thumbnails, of course. 7,000, even 7,500 views on a couple of these shorts, which is great to see, and live streams are frequent on the channel. So it's been a while since I've been in there. I've got the notification bell on for every channel. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one. I've even got the notification on for a live stream she's got coming up in a couple of weeks. I'll show you her second channel called Conscious Business Services and Opportunities. we put her channels up on the screen right away. She dropped a super chat earlier, and we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen right away, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel in another moment. M&J Metal, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And then, yes, anybody who is around Toronto at all, any of our friends, even if you're in the United States and can come across, but I live in Niagara Falls. I split my time. I'm half the week I'm in Toronto a lot of the time, and then on the weekends I'm usually in Niagara Falls, but I'm always up for meetups. Niagara Falls literally right across the border if you're in upstate New York or close, right? And then Conscious Business Services and Opportunities is up on the screen. This is the second channel where Charlene Heal, who brings us wellness coaching, talks more wealth, spirituality, and a mindset shift. Hoping to have impact through more motivation and inspiration here. 1,600 subscribers on this channel and monetized, of course. She's got shorts that here have gotten into 5,400 and 6,500 views, and then live streams on the channel. She's got lots of these as well. She'll do one a couple days after the other on both of these channels in a couple of weeks from now. Right after, right after Remembrance Day, or Veterans Day, by the way. So hopefully everybody will connect with Charlene Heal on both of her channels. She's been a dear friend for a long time, obviously a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. So thank you again for another super chat. Absolutely unnecessary, but very much appreciated, of course. Controversial Cruising is going to be the next channel that we look at, but we're going to take a break right now for 3.5 minutes. Right before we do that, I'm going to play a clip from that interview series that I mentioned earlier. These are conversations that go on for anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. They are in an interview style where I ask the guests for their opinion without adding a lot of my own. And then these creators have been with us for several years each, and they've all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. So one of the questions that's going to come up, especially when we've got a channel that's just grown, I mean, you guys have content getting into like well over 200,000 views, and people are always going to want to know how they can get more views on their video shorts and streams. So what can you tell us in your experience that you would give somebody as advice now?
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, you want to master at this one?
Don't be afraid to go back and change the thumbnails and the tags and the titles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to do that. It doesn't have to be the exact same as it was when you posted it. If you have a better idea for a title or a thumbnail or a description or anything like that, go ahead and try it. Because no matter how many times you change it, YouTube is going to pick something.
Yep.
And it might push it out more. More people might like maybe the colour scheme on it or the wording on it or something like that. And that'll help bring more people in. That's what I think anyway. Because we were afraid to do that for a long time. And then when we started doing that a little bit, we noticed a bit more growth.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. What do you think?
Well, a lot of what Danielle said is spot on, but the thing about it is that's what's great about YouTube. You have that space to just go, you know, I didn't like that idea the first time it went up. Like, we've had thumbnails and we've had tags, we've had hashtags and stuff. We thought, oh, this is gonna go, it's gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And no, it just went straight into the toilet.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because the beautiful part is you can go back, you can change it over, you can go, I'll experiment with this. Sometimes it could be, now this is what is crazy about YouTube, could be a tag change, it could be the title. Like, as much as people go, it's the thumbnail, like the title does play a major part, because like if you turn around, let's say a plane flying in the sky, or you turn around and say a plane does a nosedive and then lands perfectly, what sounds better? Maybe that might work for some people, but see the way the two titles, like, oh, I can just look at a plane, or oh, what's going to happen here? Right. I don't know why I used the plane, but that's just where I went for it.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right.
Just the contrast of like titles and tags,
it does make a difference.
It does. It's like from our experience anyway, it has. Like, we went back and sometimes we just changed the thumbnail, and that did make a big difference. Like, there, what thumbnail we doing on? We done it on one of the military videos, and we done it actually the Star Spangled Banner video. We had the original thumbnail for that. We thought was the best thing we ever made. Got rid of it. See, this is what happens. Like a month later, we're like, "Wow, this is the worst thing we could have ever put up." And I know people are probably going, "No, it's really good," but this is what happens in your own head. You're like, "Wow, this is like not great," but we changed it to that one, and we love that one, and probably next month we'll change it again. But don't be afraid to change around your content and really experiment with what's out there.
That's great advice. All right, we're just about back and looking at controversial cruising. We had spun the wheel, so this channel's coming up right now. And then Mission Space Orange, which was the gaming ham, a longtime dear friend, has come in. They've changed up their channel, but they also dropped a super chat. So we're going to put their channel up next. Ghostly Winds will come up right after that. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. And very soon it will probably be time for me to add some more names to our wheel from our chat list based on who's been, pardon me, most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. I do occasionally remove names from the wheel after a period of inactivity. just so that we can speed things up and hopefully get to some more newer channels as the stream goes on. But members will always be added to the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat, or re-added if I've removed your name. Just please be active for any of our members once in a while so that I know you're there, especially after we go on those breaks. That's when I remove names from the wheel. So thank you again, Ghostly Winds. We're going to look at that channel right after Mission Space Orange. Right now we're looking at Controversial Cruising. This is an incredibly dynamic creator, somebody who collaborates with all kinds of others. This is a great way to grow your channel, as a matter of fact. Every time you're featured on somebody else's channel, you're all but seriously, you're all but guaranteed to grab a handful of brand new subscribers every time somebody else is featuring your channel. So Controversial Cruising is working on 1,300 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. They are going to give us all kinds of information about cruising, but they're going to bring us to parties. They're going to bring us to destinations on the cruise ships for tours. They're going to show us the food, the amenities, the activities, and they meet lots and lots of people. They do a lot of interesting things on their channel as well. So I've just put their latest video into that catch-up list. That's so that I can get caught up with them. I see them behind. They got shorts on the channel that have gotten into 8,000 and 15,000 views. Live streams are frequent on the channel, but look at this. They do a lot of game nights as well. These are really cool because they just bring on StreamYard panels and have other guests with them, and then the chat can interact. And we've seen lots of games like that before, but this is an incredibly dynamic host as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Controversial Cruising. We'd love to push them towards the 1,300 subscribers they're thinking about. And like I keep saying, they have been a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter ever since finding us, and I think they've been with us a couple of years now. Life in the Piedmont Homestead, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then the Stock Explorer, good to see. Well, Stock Explorer's been here for a while. I made a joke already about Dogecoin again. But thank you for the gifted membership. Absolutely unnecessary, but very much appreciated, of course. The Stock Explorer is here as a member and a moderator, as a matter of fact. So thank you for that. Ghostly Winds will be happy to have picked that up because they're dropping 2 of them now, and then New Devils Gaming will be happy to have that as well. So thank you, Nora. That is incredibly and unnecessarily generous, and they've done that kind of thing countless times before. So like I said, we'll get their channel up after Ghostly Winds. They're coming up next. Right now we're going to look at the Gaming Ham, who's renamed and rejigged their channel. Now we're going to know it as Mission Space Orange. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. When we look at Mission Space Orange, we see the Gaming Ham, and this is a creator who's actually been with us for several years, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. 310 subscribers right now. We'd love to push them towards the 400 we know they're thinking about. I'm behind with some of their videos here, but I see that they had posted some up to a few months ago. I'll grab the latest one, put that in my catch-up list. They got some shorts on the channel as well. These have gotten into 400 and almost 500 views. Live streams on the channel feature a lot of video gameplay, and they've been at this a long time. They mix up the games, of course. Videos can usually involve talking head like this, but this creator actually started with a lot of 3D printing as well, which I still have a lot to learn about. Hopefully everybody will connect with Mission Space Orange, and like I said, another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And it's great to have you back in the chat, and thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. Ghostly Winds, thank you for the same thing. They've done that countless times before. Ghostly Winds comes to us from Australia. Our dear friend Mr. Fulton Mraz is in the house. I was out working, so forgive me for not catching your stream, Mr. Fulton Mraz. I've talked to a couple times over the last couple of days on the phone. He did a special live stream today, I believe, and he does a lot. He always has interesting news for us. He's been with me for 5 years, since before Superchat even existed. Jose Fantasticville, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Our Georgia Suburban Homestead is here. I'm going to get them onto the wheel because they happen to be a member. Members always get added to the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. Cali King 916 from Sacramento is in the house, and Ghostly Wins from Australia brings us more gameplay, usually retro. And it's interesting because I've known them now for 4 years. Ghostly Wins is somebody who I can tell you cares deeply about the YouTube journey, about those of us in the Tuber Chat family, and about their community. Because I've been the host of this channel, Tuber Chat, for 4 years, I'm very lucky that I get to have a lot of conversations with a lot of creators. Anybody's free to reach out anytime. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. But I've had lengthy conversations with Ghostly Wins and had been grateful for that. But it's interesting that this creator has been able to introduce us and myself to games that I've never otherwise seen, even though I grew up with Sega and Nintendo systems. It's like one of my proudest accomplishments, as ridiculous as that may sound. When I got my first full-time job when I was 15 years old, I was doing landscaping for a summer. And I was so happy to go out and buy myself a Nintendo. I never had a video game system before that. I didn't have Atari. I didn't have Pong. And I know it's a first world thing to talk about, but you know what I mean. So I was so happy to go out and be able to do that. But even through all of the years that I would play those things, and I love video games as much as anybody, Ghostly Wins has just got an enormous catalog of different types of video games on the channel. Shorts continue that, but they also experiment a lot. They've changed these up over the years. 600 views, even 1,600 views on one of these. And then live streams. I've been with them many times while they've been live streaming, meaning in their chat and everything. You can almost feel the excitement in this creator while they're playing. They do a great job of keeping up with the chat, and they mix up the gameplay here as well. They're always having a good time and laughing along while they're playing. So Ghostly Wins, working on 900 subscribers right now. They just picked up a gifted membership from the Stock Explorer as well, so I know they'll be happy about that. They've been a member many times before. And then the Stock Explorer will come up right now as well. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then thank you again, Mission Space Orange, along with Ghostly Wins for those super chats. I really do appreciate that. The Stock Explorer dropped a couple of gifted memberships. Absolutely unnecessary, but very much appreciated always. We always put those channels on the screen right away. We just let them skip the line. But we're going to be back to spinning the wheel shortly. Margie's Crafty Corner is just rolling over that membership, and thank you for being here. I'm going to get them onto the wheel. Members are always added to the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. If any of our members are listening or watching that haven't been seen yet, just be active in the chat. I'll make sure to get you back on the wheel if I have removed your name, because I clear out the wheel a little bit over the course of the stream as well. Mr. Fulton Mraz, thank you for that. Yes, you got a special show, and thanks for letting us know about that. And then, yeah, Lewis Acre Farm Karma, that's okay. I will take your word for that. Sometimes there's glitches on YouTube. I've had it a million times. I had this thing going on for a couple weeks there where I couldn't give a super chat on any device except for an Android phone. So I had to go running through the house to get the other phone just so I could do that, because it wouldn't work not in Chrome, not in Firefox, not with resetting or anything else. And then Yarn again, good to see you in the house. I just caught them for a live stream, I think this morning, right? And the Stock Explorer is up on the screen right now. They've dressed up their channel for Halloween, which is great to see. I'm going to talk about their content in a second. Makeup Mom and Son is just coming in right now. I'm going to put them right beside Rambling with the Brooms. They happen to be a member and a moderator, one of our longest standing. You can tell by the membership badges there. Hopefully everybody likes those jack-o'-lanterns. I will replace those in a couple of days, probably before our next live stream, actually. The Stock Explorer, like I said, just dressed up their channel. Now, they have really evolved or changed up the content over the years. We've known the Stock Explorer now, or I have, for 4 years. And they originally started by talking about stocks with a little bit of crypto, but they have always done it in a level-headed and down-to-earth way. They talk about everything from beginner tutorials to advanced topics like options trading and NFTs, and they've really expanded the content over the last long while. They often have product in hand when they're talking about stocks. Their live streams can involve more talk about the stock markets or friendly conversation in StreamYard panels, or they introduced lottery ticket scratching to the channel a couple of years ago, and that's really pumped up over the last couple of years. They do a lot of lottery ticket scratch battling with other channels, so they got one coming up actually. Is that going to be tonight? Oh, they're going live in a minute. They're going live in 5 minutes here. So hopefully everybody will join them as well. I don't know if they'll still be on after we're finished Tuber Chat. We're still going to be on for another 2 hours, but we'll see. We'll have a look. I'm going to make a note of it. Like I said, sometimes it's friendly conversation over here. The Stock Explorer, I've joined on their channel. They do a lot of StreamYard panels. Shorts on the channel feature pure variety. They always have, but they've gotten into 4,000 and even 11,000 views. And right now, the Stock Explorer is working on a series called Scratching with Strangers. So they're aiming around that 100 views per video, and they're getting it. They're getting pretty close here. They've only got a couple just sliding along, you know, between 90 and 100. So they'll soon have it as the series catches on more and more. But it's great to have goals like this as well. And the Stock Explorer, like I said, has been a dear friend a long time. I'm just going to quickly let you know they've got a second channel here called Tropical Buzz. They teach us about plant life on that channel, but I'll leave it to you to go and find that one as well. Janine's World, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. As long as everybody's still active, we should get around to saying hello to everyone. Margie's Crafty Corner, look at that luck. You only been here a couple minutes and the wheel chose you right away. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. And forgive me, Margie's Crafty Corner, I'm going to put your channel up in a second. Lewis Acre Farm Karma might have dropped a super chat there. Sometimes the systems don't always 100% register. And as frustrating as that is in 2024, I have to shake my head because I do some computer programming myself as well and have for, many years. I have to shake my head and wonder why some of these things have to not work. So forgive me. We'll get into story time for a second because I love complaining about this. Somebody asked me just yesterday they asked me about making an app, which I've done. I've put at least 10 apps on the App Store, right? They've asked me how much it would take or cost to build a very intricate app, something with competing and, scoreboards and rewards and crypto and all this stuff. And I said it costs 10 times as much or 100 times as much as websites. So if somebody can get a professional website done for, let's say, a couple $1,000s, then you might as well call it 200,000, right? Do you know what it costs at Google and everywhere else to pay some of these people an average of probably over $100,000 a year each? So if you have a team of 10 people and it's costing you $1 million a year, can the stuff work? Like, can we just get it to work? And I get so frustrated. I snapped the other day over this, but you know what I'm talking about. And if you really want to laugh, I'll show you what I mean. Up here in the top right corner on YouTube, you see how this little notification thing for me with the 9+ now? So we'll clear my notifications, but you see how the text in that was black, but the circle was red? It used to be white text. What does it matter? I already went through this, so I'll cut it out now. But you guys must know what I mean. The money that they spend on the teams of people to look after this stuff. And we have to imagine that stuff should be working by 2024. Come on. We were worried about this in 1999. So, Lewis Acre Farm Karma, forgive me, is up on the screen right now. They're another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. They got 364 subscribers. We would love to push them towards the 400. They must be thinking about. And Lewis Acre Farm Karma is actually going to bring us a lot of motivation and inspiration on the channel more than anything else. They have got a series in their live streams along with their homesteading and farming content. They've got a series called Meet Me Monday. And what they've been doing is introducing us to other influencers or YouTubers. There's Butler Family Farm right there. Why do I not remember who you just... Joyful Steffi is there. Andale Homestead is a longtime dear friend. Have Cheetah Will View has been with me since maybe even before Superchat. I think they've been here for 4 years. But that's an interesting concept, and lots of creators are doing things like interviews. But like I said, every time you're featured on somebody's channel, you gain a handful of subscribers. And every time you feature other people on your channel, you're doing a great service for them if it's appropriate. Not everybody should, not everybody has to, but if it's something that makes sense for your channel, then you know that they're likely going to benefit. When we look at shorts on Lewis Acre Farm Karma, we see up to 2,500, even 6,100 on one of these, which is great to see. So hopefully everybody will connect with them. Lewis Acre Farm Karma is here with us just about every day as well. Adventures in Gardening, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And forgive me, I was just about to put up Margie's Crafty Corner. So let's see what they've got going on their channel, and then we'll put up Makeup Mom and Son. I just spun the wheel again. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. I'll give you another first world problem. When we're talking about going out for Halloween there, Canadian Family Life's going to go out. I was going out for probably a couple years longer than I should have been. And one of my most frustrating years, I used to play hockey when I was a kid. So cliche, but yes, when here in Canada, I played baseball in the summers, hockey in the winters. My parents were lucky enough to do a lot of, be able to put us in a lot of things. They let me know after. My grandparents really were responsible for paying for a lot of that. Anybody with kids in sports and programs like that knows how expensive this stuff can be. But I played for years. So one year I had to play hockey on Halloween. I was so upset. Must have been a Friday night, I don't know. And I got home from hockey. I didn't even take my stuff off. I just said, I'm going out for Halloween as a hockey player. I'll be the last one going around today, annoying everybody by still being out late. But still did it. Now I give up. I just go to the store and buy the Halloween candy, right? I cheat that way. But Halloween's always fun. Always. So Makeup Mom and Son is coming up next. Margie's Crafty Corner's on the screen. So we're going to see a lot of crochet and paper crafts here. Fiber crafts, fiber arts, and stitch markers as well. This creator's out there supporting other creators all the time. They've been a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter with us for a long time. This is a lengthy video here, over an hour long. That's great. Even though they're monetized, we always want to keep up our watch hours. Not as much of a big deal as I'm making it sound, but we still want to keep that in mind and help each other anyway. So even running, if not watching, a lengthy video here and there for all your friends and all your supporters will definitely help keep those hours up and keep the momentum up. Up to 400 views and beyond on some of these shorts videos, which is great to see, and live streams are frequent. So they'll have a lot of StreamYard panels and a lot of interesting guests that will come up with them. And they have a lot of different fiber arts, fiber crafts, and different things to show. And actually, when you dig through a lot of their rollovers here, or if you watch some of the past live streams, the replays, you'll see a lot of familiar faces as well. I'm always introduced to new people. Pardon me when I'm over at Margie's Crafty Corner, but they've got a few friends from the Tuberchat family in there as well. KK's Travel and Educational Vlogs, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. And Makeup Mom and Son is coming up right now. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuberchat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And Makeup Mom and Son is up on the screen right now, working on 2,800 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push her a little bit farther towards that milestone. She's somebody who's been with us from the beginning. She's here as a moderator and a silver member, which means we see her channel every single day, and whether or not she's here in the slides that run at the beginning, middle, and end of every live stream. Although for the last 4 years she's been here as often as she can be, of course, like I said, as a beloved and dedicated moderator. One of the most authentic creators that I've met in my YouTube journey. We dig through her channel, we'll see she's really on fire right now because Halloween. She does great with these series, so whether it's Vlogtober or Halloween itself or something like Vlogmas, she always gets involved in this, and Halloween's big on her channel. So she started, the channel's called Makeup Mom and Son, with a lot of makeup and get ready with me type videos. She got into a lot of product reviews, unboxings, and subscription services as well. Things like BoxyCharm, FabFitFun, other popular ones. But she's always been considerate about mixing up the content on the channel. So even if she's doing subscription services, she opens different ones for us to see, to always be giving her audience something new. But the elaborate looks that she goes through when she does her Halloween looks, we're going to see those in the shorts videos in a second. But you get an idea here of all the different things that she's doing, including unboxings and product reviews and taste test challenges as well. When we look at shorts on the channel, some of the popular ones have gotten into 37,000 and 41,000 views, and you start to get a look at some of her Halloween looks there. Really elaborate, and she just does a spectacular job. When we get through the newer ones, so you're getting a look at what she's been putting out just over the last little while. Then live streams on the channel as well. So I missed her live stream last week. Hopefully I'll catch the next one if she's going to do another one soon. I've been on her channel several times, and she's been featured on tons of other channels. She's actually done an interview series as well. If you dig through the channel, there's Unstable TV. We saw them over here on Superchat, and they've been featured on many different channels. She's got lots of friends over there. Some we know, some we've been introduced to by her, and Makeup Mom and Son, of course, is somebody who cares very deeply. As a matter of fact, there's a story that I keep forgetting to tell about her channel when it's up here. I've told it a million times before, but Makeup Mom and Son, when she did her very first live stream, I think the stream went on for 4 hours, and she was rated 3 times during that stream. The reason why I like to tell that story is just to give you an idea of how supportive she must have been before she even started live streaming to get that kind of support coming in as soon as she did, which is great. And then Makeup Mom and Son is working on 2,800 subscribers. She's got a second channel here as well. Kaden Plays It is a channel that is meant for the son of Makeup Mom and Son. Of course, Mom is helping Son on this channel, but he's already got 56 subscribers. We'd love to push him a little bit farther towards that first 100. We know it's an exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. Kaden as well is going to do some more product reviews, unboxings, taste test challenges, as well as some shorts on the channel. Mom's helping here, but one of these has got 2,200 views, and then live streams. We might see some more Roblox or other video gameplay. So hopefully everybody will connect with Makeup Mom and Son and her son's channel. Kaden Plays It. You'll find her over there as well. And she is an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Next up is going to be our Georgia Suburban Homestead. But right before we get to that channel, we're going to go on break for 3.5 minutes again. And right before we do that, we're going to play one more clip from our interview series. These are videos that are listed in a playlist and as a podcast on the Superchat channel now. They go anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long in an interview-style conversation where I ask the guests for their opinion without adding a lot of my own. They're extremely informative and all the things that we need to hear, even though not every creator that is featured said the same thing about every single issue. So there's a lot of information in there, and I'll give you just a taste of it right now. The most important things to know are these creators have been with us literally for 3 years or longer, and they've all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. So I noticed that you also mentioned subscribers for a quick second there when you're talking about especially the effects you put on the screen or the end of your video. Don't forget to subscribe, things like this. What else can you tell us, especially for anybody just starting their YouTube journey, about how to get more subscribers for their channel?
Still back to just asking. Like, you would be surprised how many people don't say subscribe to my channel.
No.
Just a simple hit that subscribe button, you know, I would appreciate it. I don't do a whole lot of promoting, but promoting your channel works very well. I think honestly, if people can feel like they have a connection to you, if you're talking, if you're giving great information, if they sort of feel that vibe, they're going to naturally be like, oh, I like this person. But sometimes people will watch and just never subscribe. And sometimes it's just because they just don't think about it. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed to you. So that one little ask is sometimes all the people need to
Right.
just, subscribe to the channel. I think also realizing that not everybody is going to subscribe. Like,
Yes.
realizing that they might watch your video, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to subscribe to it. Or they just come there for that one reason, that to see that video, and now they're going to go. I think having people promote you is a good thing. And that's also something I think should naturally happen.
Okay.
I know a lot of us, when we start out, we think we have the best ideas, the best personality, and we're going to blow up overnight. And it just doesn't happen like that in the real world. It's going to take time, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with, you might never hit 10,000 subscribers, and that's okay. Be there for the 400 that are coming back,
Yes.
Be there for the ones that are coming back, and show them that you appreciate them being there, because eventually those are the ones that will mention your name to somebody else.
Yes.
Or, those, if they don't, but they're still coming back. So we have to be okay. I think that's what a lot of new vloggers need to learn. You have to be okay that you might not blow up. You might not be as fabulous as you think you are. Somebody is still going to be like, no, I don't like her. And that's okay. That's okay.
All right, we're just about back. We're looking at our Georgia Suburban Homestead, another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And they have been for a very long time. They bring us an interesting twist on homesteading, wanting to encourage us to grow our own food in a residential neighborhood. We absolutely can. They'll show us how when we get to their channel. I see their latest video this week was the end of October garden tour. This will be interesting to see. All of our channels are international or global, if you want to call it that. Our audiences are too, and I know that goes without saying, but when you think about the idea that you have people from all over the world, they're going to have different things to see, and different ideas. Our homesteading friends are going to have different things that they can grow or raise their livestock and things like that, if that makes any sense. Different gardening or farming or ranching conditions, if we want to put it that way. See, I still have a lot to learn. After all these years, I'm still learning from our homesteading friends. I'm a big city boy. I'm surrounded by concrete, steel, glass, and drywall all the time. So I've got a lot to learn about the terminology, but when we think about that, I'm very excited when we see channels that can bring us different things, because so for instance, the Stock Explorer can show us things we wouldn't otherwise be able to see if we hadn't been to Florida, right? A lot of different channels are going to show us different things. I happen to be from Canada, so I'm able to get out and see all 4 seasons. Occasionally I have things like snow and rain, but not everybody has that, right? And then palm trees are something that doesn't exist in Canada. Would anybody ever love in Canada to have an orange tree in their backyard? But we just can't do it. I've heard of it being done, but I don't know if it's actually possible. So these are just ideas, but our Georgia Suburban Homestead is going to talk about growing food in a residential neighborhood. They actually do a lot more than that, but that's the inspiration behind the channel. You can read about that on their About section. Pardon me, when we get to shorts, we see up to almost 6,000 views, one over 10,000 now, which is great to see, and live streams on the channel as well. When we get over here, we see that they're working on 1,400 subscribers, and we see that they're on frequently, usually every week-ish. So we've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as we can as well. Adventure America, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. I just ran into them. Did I watch something of yours, or did we run into each other in a chat from somebody else? I just saw them. I thought it was this morning or yesterday. But I see Adventure America frequently. Rambling with the Brooms is coming up. Another fellow Canadian. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. Yeah, that was it, Adventure America. It's always great to see, it's always great to be running into people that we know are friendly faces or channels that we're familiar with when we're visiting other people, because other people are out there supporting as well. Our Louisiana Life, thank you so much for another super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. Absolutely unnecessary, but very much appreciated always. For that reason, we'll put their channel up next on the screen. We always do that for super chatters and membership gifters, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel like we usually do. So Rambling with the Brooms is up on the screen right now. This is Scott, somebody I've had the pleasure of meeting in person once, as a matter of fact, with just Jason Keto and more and a few other people. We'll likely be at it again in a couple of months. He comes from more the Ottawa area, whereas I'm about 6 hours away or 4 hours away around Toronto. When we look at Rambling with the Brooms, we see more homesteading and with all 4 seasons to be seen. When you dig through his channel, you'll find some of that famous Canadian winter weather, the snow I was talking about, for instance. And then when we dig through the channel, there could be almost anything. There could be travel. He could be making maple syrup. He could be giving us a chance to get to know him. He could be collaborating with another creator. He could be traveling. Now he started a second channel just for that as well. I've got the latest video. I've put that in my catch-up list so I can get caught up or keep caught up with Scott and Rambling with the Brooms. He's working on 4,000 subscribers, which is not a surprise, but a nice, exciting milestone to see when we get to his shorts videos. Here's some of that winter weather I was talking about, getting into 3,000, even 7,000 views and beyond. And then live streams on the channel as well. Rambling with the Brooms could be giving us a chance to get to know him. He might be doing a StreamYard panel. He might be taking us out on the road or to a meetup with other creators. And he's always been somebody who wants to help others grow, especially when he finds channels under 100 subscribers. He's got a special project coming up right now, and I'm just going to dig through the channel for a second here, see if I can find one of the thumbnails for Cruising Alaska 25. So in August of next year, only, what are we now, 10 months away, 9 months away, this one here, we're going to get to a cruise that they're planning to put together. They've already got it put together, but they're planning to book 100 rooms of creators and supporters to go from Seattle to Alaska for a week. So that's going to be interesting to see, and there's lots of information on this channel as well as Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, because they're working on that together. When I look at Travel Escapes with the Brooms, we see Scott's travel channel, and he'll bring us more and more travel as time goes on, especially when that cruise comes around next year. He might even, maybe I can convince him to film when he comes to Toronto. He's working on 400 subscribers over there, and he's got a couple of videos already and a few shorts to go along with it. So as we know, as he posts more and more, we'll see the channel move even farther. But there's a longtime dear friend. He's probably a moderator on dozens of channels as well. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Our Louisiana Life is working on 4,000 subscribers and getting close, which is great to see. We're going to talk about their channel in a second. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. When we look at our Louisiana Life, this is a channel I'm still getting to know. They've actually been with us for quite a while now. Family of 5, and they give us an introduction to what they're going to bring on the channel and the family behind the channel as well. This was interesting, yes. I watched this video this morning, and what did they call that? Mineral... not a mineral stone, a mineral bar or something. Yeah, I forget what exactly they call it. I was working on the computer while I was watching, of course, but I did catch that literally when we were opening that. When we get to our Louisiana Life, we see mostly outdoor content. Obviously, a dynamic creator. Yeah, lots of equipment over here, my dear goodness. I actually, for my full-time gig, I often drive the smallest skid steer loader that you can get. I drive a Bobcat 463, which is about the size of an S70. But some of these bigger tractors, this bigger equipment, I still... now I look at it as I probably did when I was a little boy. I used to like playing with... I didn't enjoy playing so much with G.I. Joes and stuff. I had some of that stuff, but I enjoyed playing with the vehicles much more. I don't know if it's just because I wanted to smash everything and have everything destroy everything. But I remember going to my grandparents' place, and they had very few toys for us to play with, but they had some cars and trucks and things like that. I don't remember if they had dolls and stuff for my sister. We'd bring our own stuff with us anyway if we visited for a weekend or whatever. But they had, I remember them having a huge excavator toy and a couple of ambulances and stuff, but I was always enthralled with these tractors and equipment. And yeah, I don't have a property where that kind of stuff would be appropriate at all. But when I'm out working, I get to use a few things. I've used excavators and a couple other things. Shorts on the channel have gotten into 26,000, 35,000. And that's impressive. They've been doing really well with these, and it's all in line with their long form content as well. And then live streams on the channel as well. They did one yesterday. I'm sorry I missed that. Hopefully I'll catch you for one of these. So they've been actually live frequently. Yeah, I'm shocked that I'm not catching you. I've got the notification bell on for every single channel. It's interesting because you see when I put channels up on the screen here, you can see some of the channels I'm like in their stuff all the time. And then there's other ones. Our Louisiana Life has been with us for I don't know how many months now. It could be 6 months, might be longer. And haven't caught them for a live stream that I can remember yet. But hopefully I will. And we'll just have to see. So 23 hours from now means it would have been late yesterday. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't catch that. But hopefully I'll be there for another one soon. They got lots of StreamYard panels, lots of familiar faces over here. But I think I'm going to do one more thing here because I watched that video today, but I'm just going to take something else. I'm going to grab a popular video. I'm going to grab... I'm going to grab this video right here. I'm going to put it into my catch-up list as well, just so I can get another piece of content watched. And our Louisiana Life is here with us regularly. So, yes, happy to be able to see them. And thank you for another Super Chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. Absolutely unnecessary, of course, but always appreciated. Let's spin the wheel. And then, yeah, Adventure America. It's interesting. After all these years, the notifications still don't want to work the way we wish they would. Not to mention, if you remember, for the last little while, I've been saying every time the time changes. So it was interesting because we saw it a little while ago, but it's a bit early for that, except that I didn't realize, yes, of course, our friends in the UK have already changed their time. Not everybody around the world, I understand, does the time change. We're going to do it Thursday. I don't know if is it going to be Thursday night or is it going to be Saturday? Maybe Pete will know, or Jason, or Scott, or Tiffany, one of our Canadian friends, might know, or anybody in the Eastern Seaboard. Yeah, I'm just uncertain. I think it's always Saturday, but I might be wrong about that. And then Yarn Again is going to come up right now. We'll see what they've got going on. But you'll notice that the algorithm changes. I saw it today really, really well. Where I'll give you a look at what I'm talking about. I'll go to my home page. And when I'm on YouTube, I'm usually on a computer. And this is how I'm using YouTube. So I usually, when I get on the computer, there's Stock Explorer, they're on with Ted right now. And Michael's Adventures Premiere still running. Sometimes he's on for a couple of hours. What I will do is I will go to the subscription side over here. And then I'll see who's live. Now, Tuberchat as a channel is 5,500 subscribers or 5,600, which means you know that I'm subscribed to 5,600 channels or something like that, literally, right? I subscribe to every channel that's here. And when we look at the grid here on the subscription page, though, I've only got 20 channels that are live. Now, if you're in the beginnings of your YouTube journey, that might sound like a large number, but I promise you, when you start to get into 1,000, 2,000 subscribers, 3,000, we expect that for everybody here, you're going to start to see this and be like, no. Out of 5,500, there has to be more channels live. But this is an example of how the algorithm is not being, let's say, accurate, right? And we don't get notifications for everyone, no matter how many times we put the notifications on. And forgive me because we'll get into story time for 1 second here. It's interesting when you see what videos are suggested for somebody. Like here in Tuberchat, obviously I'm putting YouTube on the screen. Everybody can see the videos that are suggested for me, but I'll show you something. I'll do something I usually don't do, but let me just point the camera over here for a second. You'll see I've got some vinyl records on my wall there in some frames. The one in the bottom right corner there is America. And there's their song there. My favorite song by America is You Can Do Magic. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. But that's just, I thought that was funny. Yarn Again, let's get to your channel, and we'll cut the story time out. Gloria's Platters here. We have to go for a break, everybody. She laughs all the time because it seems like I go for a break for 3 minutes every time she comes in the chat. Lately, she must be getting a special kind of notification that tells her when to come in after we've already done a break, so I'm not going to do it for another 10 or 15 minutes now. And then if you're not seeing some of your friends as much as you wish that you would, it's a suggestion that you could turn the notifications off or back on again, or dare I say unsubscribe and resubscribe. I don't know if it's true that that works. We've heard it from a few people, but you know, these are just ideas that we can't prove, but we have heard it a few times. So Yarn Again is up on the screen right now, and I think I caught them earlier today for a live stream as well. Wasn't it this morning? 2 weeks ago here. Yes, I was on there 9 hours ago. I don't know why the thing didn't go all the way across unless I had to split. I thought I was there the whole time. Usually what happens these days is I get into a live stream or a premiere and I just let them run out instead of hopping around every 15 minutes like I used to, or 16 minutes. But I'm going to put this live stream replay at the end of my catch-up list, and I'll rerun that just so you get that full credit on those watch hours. I know you're monetized already. Yarn Again is going to bring us these East Coast reseller live streams. This is where we get to bid in an auction style right on the live stream, and a lot of friendly conversation as well. Monday mornings they're live all the time. When we get to videos on the channel, we're going to see pure variety here, a lot of outdoor content by the look of it, and all 4 seasons there. I keep talking about that. Yarn Again will give us a bit of information on their about section about what else we can expect, and then when we get into shorts on this channel, they've gotten into 1,600 and 2,500 views. Lots of fiber crafts, fiber arts, and a lot of outdoor content like we might expect from our homesteading friends as well. Wheats Art, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel up onto the screen in a moment. What on earth were you eating today that I watched? Wheats Art? Why can't I remember what they were eating? I meant to remember. I said I'm going to remember it so I can mention it. And now I can't remember what it was. And Butler Family Farm. Oh, KFC. They were eating KFC. It's interesting. I don't know how many. So let's do a ridiculous poll that doesn't have anything to do with YouTube. How often? Here, I'll show everybody how to do this too. Let me start over. Let me show you a window. This is how I watch in another monitor, of course, what's going on in the chat, even though I'm always behind. I'm just going to show you how to start a poll. So we go down here, you got your super chat button, your likes, and there's a new change, by the way. Now I'll show you something else. If you haven't seen this already, you can click on the settings. You can replace those 5 emojis with other emojis from the YouTube system if you want to, for people to like on TikTok, you know, when everybody's like hitting the screen and the hearts are flowing and stuff. I know people do it here for us, and I appreciate it, of course. You could change those now. I don't know when that update came in. I noticed it for the first time today. Right beside that is a button that gives us the chance to start a poll. So all we have to do is ask a question or say whatever it is that you want to say. So I'm going to say, how often do you eat KFC? And I'm just curious to know, we'll make 3 answers for this. We'll say once per year, more, let's say twice per year, and more often. Because this is something that I say to people like often in ridiculous conversation when we're just like talking about nothing, right? We'll talk about KFC. I love talking about marketing and businesses and stuff. So I look at KFC and things like that. It's like fish and chips. You know, it's like going to like Mandarin, like Chinese food and stuff like that, or like a bowling alley. I used to work in a bowling alley when I was a kid. I only ever do that stuff like once a year. So I eat takeout food as much as anybody else. I don't want to admit it, but I eat more than I should, of course. But it's not KFC that often. It's usually once or twice a year. We used to have for like a special occasion, somebody's birthday, and they would say they want KFC instead of pizza. Okay, we'll get it, right? There was a time that I was eating a lot of it because they had this $2 special. And this is, you know, we're talking 15 years ago now, something like that. As my son was growing up, we would go to this it's basically a no-name independent movie theater that has really cheap movie tickets. And on Tuesdays, they do this Two Toonie Tuesdays thing. So I'd show up with $20. Keep in mind, this is Canadian. So I'd show up with $20. We'd buy our movie tickets. We'd get the KFC special. We'd go to the dollar store and get a bottle of pop and a chocolate bar each. And there would still be change from a $20 bill, if you can imagine. So at that point, I was eating a lot of it. But usually KFC now, I don't even remember the last time I had it. So, but it's something, I enjoy it as much as anybody else. I know we shouldn't go like too far with that all the time. And there you go. Yes, KFC is partially to blame for bad health. No doubt. We know that takeout food and things like that, we hear it all the time, is not, we shouldn't be eating the stuff all the time. But, so KFC I had eaten at one, occasionally, often, but now I have it almost never. Mandarin is something I go to. Mandarin is a Chinese food place. I think it's worldwide, but I could be wrong about that. But it's like a buffet style, huge restaurant, very elaborate, not overpriced, not cheap, but we go there for family events and stuff like that sometimes. But it's only occasionally, and what I say about marketing and these companies when I get into these speeches about business, especially when you think about bowling, right? How often do people go bowling? I know there are people who go every week because I used to work there, right? They have leagues. Some people go every week. Some people never go. They'll be like, oh, I went bowling. It's got to be like 10 years. Oh, I loved it so much. We should go bowling. That would be fun. And then they don't. So for those of you who remember the Jay Jordan, he's been a longtime friend here in the Tuber Chat family. He takes us out for live streams at the bowling alley. But when I think about KFC, when I think about bowling, when I think about a few different things, I'm like, all those businesses have to do is get the people who only show up once a year to show up twice a year, and they double their business instantly. I know it's obvious, but the success would go out the door, right? Through the roof. Immediately. It's really that easy. It can't be that difficult to convince people to have this more than once, but all these companies do is just keep sending their flyers around. I get the McDonald's coupons, Burger King, Wendy's, KFC, pizza. We all get them. It's like junk mail, and we just throw them aside. I look at the coupons. I keep some of them if I think there's a chance I might use some of that, but I try not to go overboard with it either. So Rushing One Mountain, thank you for that. That's interesting to see because, I actually just watched a video. Jason was talking about this. I didn't realize the video was already beyond a week old. But they go into great detail. I shared it on the community page yesterday or the day before. And it's from the Creator Insider team. For anybody that's not already hooked up with Creator Insiders, you should go. I think everybody should be subscribed to that channel. It's run by YouTube, and they talk about updates and features and things. So one of the things they talked about is the idea of being able to change your thumbnail on a shorts video that's already been uploaded. We used to be able to do it, then they took it away. Now it might be available again. If I'm understanding right, then Rushing Wind Mountain might be pointing that out. And there you go. Yes, Just Jason, Keto, and more. Crab legs are a huge thing over there for sure. Prime rib I didn't think about. I love prime rib, as a matter of fact. I should think about that. Oh, yes, Butler Family Farm used to bowl 2 times a week. I used to bowl every day when I worked there, and I kept that job way too long. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I'm going to get back to channels in a quick second here. And then Wheats Art. Yeah, you know what's funny about you saying bowling alley food, their burgers are great? So, in my opinion, they're just basic. But that's in the place that I worked at. But that's what I used to eat almost every day when I worked. And I think we had to pay for it. We probably got a staff discount. I vaguely remember. But I would eat a hamburger with just lettuce and mayonnaise, I think. I think I wasn't into tomatoes too much at the time. I eat just about everything, so I never have been fussy or anything like that. But I remember eating hamburgers all the time. And I've changed that. I don't eat all that the same way now. I usually just get it however it comes from wherever it's coming from. Unless I'm making it. Sometimes plain sometimes a few things. Let's close our poll out, and then we'll get back to channels of Butler Family Farm here. So yeah, half of us only eat KFC once a year. Twice a year is another 25%. So yeah, I kind of wondered, but it's a curious, fun, silly thing to do to figure that out. Not everybody has KFC, I'm sure, but oh, Adventures of Gardening says they used to go bowling all the time. Yeah, the place I used to work at is not, I think it's got the same name now, but it's changed ownership and this and that. I mean, that's forever ago. We're literally talking 35 years now, ish, 30 anyway. The only burger you will not eat is McDonald's. Okay, so forgive me for this because I said we're going to get out of this, but I will mention something. I've been meeting up with a few friends lately that I haven't seen in years and years and years. I worked at our theme park, which is Canada's Wonderland, when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, somewhere around there, right? I think it's an incredible job for somebody that wants to do that thing. If you ever meet anybody who's on the fence, like somebody around that age that says, I'm thinking about working there, I would push them. I think it's a great job. You meet tons of people. It can really get somebody out of their shell. And it's taken very seriously, I'm sure, in a lot of places as well. So working in this monster theme park, or at least for us in Canada, it's a decent sized one. But I worked there as well. And then anyway, so I've been meeting up with this friend of mine that we used to work together, and that's 30 years ago too. We met up a few times over the summer. And we were talking about McDonald's, and he asked me, like, oh, did you hear about, what do you think about McDonald's and their food? And I said, I heard when I was in marketing class in high school, which is an elective, you can choose to take that, right? And I had heard a story from the teacher, if I remember right, and they said what happened was McDonald's started another company called 100% All Beef. And so and I'm probably remembering the story wrong, but this is what I think I remember. And they said that way they can serve whatever they want, but in their commercials they get to say 100% all beef patties, but it doesn't actually have to have beef. And I believed that my whole life. So now, we're 30 years later, now we're 40 years later since I would have started seeing or hearing that stuff. And then a friend of mine points out, he goes, what do you think about McDonald's meat? I tell him the story, and he says, McDonald's can be found saying exactly what they season their beef with. They said, no, their hamburgers are made with beef. They season it with salt and pepper, and that's it. Now, whether or not this is true, I don't care enough to go and deep dive into it, but I feel a little bit less horrible about eating as much McDonald's as I do, because it's more than twice a year I get into that. I'll say that much about it. And yeah, Gloria's Platter, KFC. I think all the restaurants change their menus depending on where they are. Chef Mama Bliss, good to see you in the chat. We're talking about a lot of takeout food today. I'm somebody who doesn't need any more than I've ever had. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that silliness for a second. Chef Mama Bliss is on the wheel now. And then, yeah, I really got to start cleaning up, though. I really shouldn't joke as much as I do about this nonsense, because things are getting serious. Even myself, I'm getting old enough that things aren't the way they were 10 years ago, and I got to clean up. My doctor's threatened me, so he says you're on like your last chance. You better start walking and start doing a bit better. So Butler Family Farm is up on the screen right now. 27,000 subscribers. Jerry let me know a couple months ago that he's been working on the promotion system. So YouTube has been really pushing this for a long time. It's not as new as we think it is, but they've been giving us the opportunity to promote our videos within the YouTube system. It's basically like paid advertising, right? But it's 100% legitimate, can get the right subscribers, and Butler Family Farm is just skyrocketing now. I'm just going to grab their latest video. This interesting bee flower garden. I thought it was too late for that, but I'll have to see the video to see if I'm wrong about that. So they've got bees on their farm, but they've also got cattle, goats, donkeys, horses, llamas, chickens, as well as cats and dogs. And then when we look at Butler Family Farm, we see 116 acres of farmland. So they bring us homesteading style content, along with showing us all it takes to look after the farm. And what did I just watch from you? Oh, the blooper video. Yes, of course. I was working on the computer, but I was listening to a couple of these. I remember, yes, because I commented on it, right? If you wouldn't believe when we're filming how many times we have to start over. If we want to, you don't have to, but you could, right? Nobody comes to YouTube for absolute perfection. That's what TV and movies are for. People come to YouTube for real. But things like bloopers can be a lot of fun. So Butler Family Farm did a 2-part series here where they put a bunch of outtakes all together. And it's all of them. It's everybody featured on the channel as far as I could see. When we look at their channel, we see a lot of outdoor content, but they also bring us into their home. Jerry will bring us into the shop. He does a lot of woodworking as well. Shorts on this channel fall in line with their long form content. They've gotten into 12,000, one over 50,000 views, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel. So they're live every Monday, and that is at almost 7 p.m. Eastern. They'll always set those in advance so we can set our notifications. I got the one for Monday ready to go, and I've joined them on their channel a couple of times now. They've always got interesting guests for us. Sometimes it's Jerry and Susan together, but often they'll have other StreamYard panelists or a guest on for a specific conversation. And then they head out on the road for a lot of in real life meetups as well. So they'll introduce us to a lot of channels through StreamYard panels, but they'll also head out hundreds of miles away. Some of the meetups that they go to are very large, with up to 80 channels worth of creators and supporters. And they always live stream those as well. So Butler Family Farm is here with us just about every single day. Jerry and Susan are both generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. Have been ever since finding us. I think they've been with us for what's got to be close to 3 years now as well. Let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. I am way overdue for adding a name onto the wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. So I'm going to do that right now. So Facts Chest, I'm just going to double check that they're here. We're going to talk about Scratch and PPA. He is one of the most supportive creators that I've met in my YouTube journey. All of the moderators on this channel are dear friends of mine. They're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels and they all do different things. One of the things they have in common, though, is an overwhelming sense of generosity. For that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you'll be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your channel. If that's what you would like, if that makes sense. Forgive me, I'm copying and pasting while I'm talking here. Paranormal Poet's been added to the wheel. I am just looking for Facts Chest and Living Large with L Crew if they happen to still be here. And then I'll add some more names as we continue. We'll add them as we need them. So Scratch and PPA is here as a beloved and dedicated moderator. He has been since pretty much the beginning of Superchat over 4 years ago. And he is now working on 2,200 subscribers. You'll notice he dressed up his banner for Halloween, but the most interesting thing about that is the fact that he actually changes his banner every single week, if you can imagine that. As well as the fact that he's got a bright, beautiful avatar. It matches the content on his thumbnails. He gives us a hint about the giveaways that happen in his video series, and then his video editing skills have been complimented ever since his very first production about 4 to 4.5 years ago. And Scratch and PPA then also premieres every single Tuesday. So he brings an interesting twist on lottery ticket scratching. He pits 2 tickets against each other and then offers us the opportunity to vote on the content of next week's video if we follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and or Facebook, which of course I do. It sets a series apart, makes it unique, a lot of fun to be a part of. He is a machine that doesn't sleep. And if you can catch us for one of his premieres, you're going to find one of the fastest rolling channels chats in the Tuber Chat family. Faster than this, faster than most others. He rivals those of the Stock Explorer, Hilda DC, and a few select others. It's very fast-paced, very high energy, and a lot of fun to be a part of. Now, Scratchin' PPA is monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. He's working on 2,200 subscribers, and he expanded the content on his channel last year. He took a trip to Italy, and he brought us some vlogging style shorts videos. And I said this the other day, but my bet, now that we're getting introduced to the idea of 3-minute shorts videos, or up to 2 minutes 59 seconds, then I think we're going to start seeing a lot of this. So it's great that Scratchin' PPA had the foresight to bring these, because these are very unique and really cool, because they give you a look at all the different areas he visited, and some Italian lottery tickets as well. We might not have otherwise seen those. He brought us his first live stream during that trip as well, and I know a lot of people will be excited to know he's expanded the content on his channel. I hope everybody will connect with Scratchin' PPA if you haven't already. He is not only here for every single Tuber Chat stream, but literally from beginning to end for as long as I can remember. He has been here over 700 times. And, you know, ever since finding the Tuber Chat family, he found us within the first 30 or 40 episodes, I believe. And since that day, it's less than a handful of live streams that he's, you know, even ever missed. And the only reason I say that, I appreciate every moment everybody can spend, but I just want to give you an idea of why everybody would speak, you know, about Scratchin' PPA the way that we do, because he literally seems to be everywhere all the time, and is the reason why I use those words to describe him and a few other creators as well. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up, or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Judgment Day Mike Harper is in the house. Izzy Ska is here. I'm going to get them onto the wheel. That's Izzy Ska Designs. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I certainly don't mean to. Sweet Acres Koi Farm is up on the screen right now, and we'll see what they've got going on their channel. Now here's another example of somebody who's been with us long enough that I should know the channel better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of their videos here and I'm going to put this into my catch-up list, but I'm also going to look at their popular videos, and I'm going to grab another one of these. And the reason why is because I'm sure everybody can understand I run more videos than I watch. I imagine that's true for most of us. We can run a ton of videos. This is how I get through hundreds a week, right? But I try to watch as much as I can, but I also like to get to learn about channels. And so this is one of the things I like about putting channels on the screen here in Tuber Chat. Over time, I get to know the channels. Over weeks and months, I get to know the content by watching videos, hanging out in premieres and live streams. And then eventually, if you want to get to know each other outside of YouTube, I'm always up for that. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. Social Media Grow Show's in the house. Good to see you here. Carl is also a member. He's Commander Vlogs with a channel specifically made for grow shows. Similar to what we do here. We call these growth streams. And I've got him on the wheel because he happens to be a member. Sweet Acres Koi Farm, Sweet Acres Koi Farm just gifted a membership as well. So thank you for that. I know Wheat's Art will be happy to have that. That's Wheat and Shaw with a second art channel. And I'm not sure if they're still in the chat. They were here for a long time, but I'll get them on the wheel if they're here. For any of our members that haven't been seen yet, if you're still listening or watching, just please be active in the chat. I'll get you back onto the wheel if you're not there. And then I was looking for Living Large with L Crew and Facts Chest, if they're still here. But we'll add some more names to the wheel as we need them. Sweet Acres Koi Farm as well. Let's get to shorts on this channel. We see they've got almost 8,000, one over 15,000 views, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. And I haven't caught you for one of these in quite a while, but hopefully I will. I've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as we can as well. So Wheat's Art's been added to the wheel. Let's see who's coming up next. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And we're just about to look at Chef Mama Bliss, one of the most supportive creators in the Tuber Chat family for years. They've been with us for probably 4 years now. It's got to be getting close if it's not already there. Judgment Day Mike Harper's also dropping a Super Chat and Social Media Grow Show. Is doing the same thing. Thank you for that. Yes, and I think we got the trick now. Scratchin' PPA was the one who decoded that special thing. Now, you notice Sweet Acres Koi Farm just gifted a membership and it didn't affect the list or the stream boss. Unfortunately, these things just don't work perfect. This is what I was whining and complaining about earlier today. Why can't they just work? Judgment Day Mike Harper has dropped a Super Chat and Social Media Grow Show. Both of those registered. And Scratch and PPA picked it up a couple of weeks ago where he figured out that super stickers may not work with some of the systems quite as well as Super Chats. That's why sometimes we don't see the name. But I know that Social Media Grow Show loves having their name on the list. It's a joke we have between us, but he's been a dear friend for a long, long time. And he might be live after Tuber Chat. Now, I did say if the Stock Explorer's on, we're going to raid them for today, if they're still on when we're finished. If not, we'll see if Social Media Grow Show's going to be on. We got another hour to go here. And Chef Mama Bliss is up on the screen. This is a creator that's going to bring us delicious looking content, as you can imagine. Not only is this creator the CFO of a catering company, but also an academy, which means they're teaching their skills to other people. And this is probably why we see such impressive, delicious looking content on the channel. When we get to shorts, shorts on the channel, we see a little bit more. And some of these have started to move into 400 and 500 views as they post more and more. They'll likely continue to grow. And live streams as well are an idea from the past. We'll see if they're going to do those again at any point. But like I keep saying, we got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as we can as well. So, Judgment Day Mike Harper, along with Social Media Grow Show, are coming up in a moment. Thank you again, Sweet Acres Koi Farm, for the gifted membership. We always put Super Chatters and membership gifters onto the screen right away when those things happen. We'll get back to the spinning the wheel when we get back from another 3.5 minute break. Right before we do that, I'm going to play another clip from our interview series. And again, these are videos that are now available on the Tuber Chat channel. They're together in a playlist. We've got them marked as a podcast. They're interview style, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long, where I ask the creators for their opinion, knowing that they've been through the things that we want to go through. Because all of them have been friends of ours for at least 3 years, and all of them have long passed their 10,000 subscribers. One of the things that comes along with monetization on YouTube that used to require 30,000 subscribers is memberships, and that's open to everybody that gets monetized after 500 subscribers now, or just about everybody. So one of the things that creators will ask is how can they increase the number of memberships over time on their channel? What advice would you give to somebody to increase the number of members and watch that grow if that's something that's on their mind?
Yo, you better get your pencil out for this one. I take this part very seriously in my membership. Our membership is $1.99. It's low. Okay. And I did that intentionally. I don't have any other tiers. I have one tier. It's $1.99. It's the fun zone, basically. We have, 24 emojis available, and everybody gets a new banner or a new badge. And it's creative and it's evolving all the time. I change those out consistently. Sometimes during the holidays is a good example. I changed out almost every single one of those emojis for members. I must have picked up, and I think we're right around 600 members. I think we probably picked up an extra 100 because once Halloween came, everything changed throughout the entire holiday season. We're about to hit Easter, and I'm doing it again. So showing your members that you're changing, people love new things. They love it when it's new. And that's a simple thing that you can do. It's all free, whether you use Pexels or you use an AI generator, Midjourney. You can create all that so fast and so easy. It probably takes me to do, I see 24 up there. So I think it takes me maybe 2 hours to do every single one of those.
Right. Yeah.
And now you have a fresh palette all the way around.
That's a wonderful idea, so much so I'm holding myself back from laughing because I expect to take a page out of your book and probably do that on at least the Superchat channel. So thank you for that.
In encouraging everybody to join your membership program, or not so much encouraging, reminding them that you have a membership program. And as soon as you do that, everybody in your channel that's a member will start dropping those special emojis. Now, I tweak it a little bit too because I have the floating emotes. When we are in a non-emergency or eruptive time where we can take a breath and it's a little bit more relaxed, I have some pages, my live streams. When you do the emojis, they float all over the screen for fun. And then you see at a large customized emoji that you can only get by being a member, $1.99 is not too far off. People love it.
Wow, that's gold. Thank you for this. All right, we're almost back here, and I just wanted to show you something quickly because it was mentioned in the chat here. So canva.com, I'll just copy and paste that into the chat here, is a tool that I've used many times. I usually use it for inspiration because I am a graphic designer as well. I can use Photoshop. Usually what I do is find something I like and then basically just copy it. But all you do here is, whether you're signed up or not, you just look for YouTube, and then you could say banner or thumbnail, and they come up right away. And then what will happen here is they'll give you a lot of inspiration. See all these professional looking thumbnails here, and literally all you're doing is changing the picture, changing the colors, changing the text. It's very easy to use, and it's free. Most of the stuff can be used for free and without having to pay for it at all, which is great. I have paid for it a couple of times when I felt it was appropriate, but I'll give everybody a quick tip for saving money on some of these online services as well. What I will often do when you have a service, especially these graphic design things, and when you want emojis and icons and stuff, I will pay for a service for 1 month, usually not for a year, and then I'll just cut it off when I don't need it, because there's no use paying for a service for 12 months out of the year if you're only going to use it for 8 months, for instance. And I'm sure everybody understands what I mean, because you can always just sign right back up, right? If you don't need anything for a month and a half, just sign up later. I do that all the time. Canva, I was just using it to experiment with some AI stuff. But I'm not going to follow through with what I was doing with that. It was just nonsense. I like to experiment with things once in a while to see how they work, right? But Canva is something a lot of us use. Judgment Day Mike Harper is up on the screen right now. This creator is known for bringing us a lot of reviews, usually of movies. Judgment Day Mike Harper will give you quite a bit of information on his About section about the creator behind the channel. He's got 540 subscribers right now. We'd love to push him towards the 600. We know he's thinking about a little bit of Monday Night Raw over there from WWE as well. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,400 and 2,100 views now, which is great to see. Those have increased over the last year or so. When we get into live streams, we see that this creator's live frequently. It's usually Judgment Day Mike Harper giving us a chance to get to know him. When we look at his second channel, it's called Michael W. Harper, and a little bit of compliment here in the content that we find. The two channels can kind of meld together here, so a little bit more with the DVD or movie reviews, a chance to get to know Michael Harper. 81 subscribers. We'd love to push him towards the first 100. We know it's an important and exciting milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. He's got some more shorts over here as well. These have gotten into 400 on the way towards 500 views. Pardon me, and then live streams as well. He's done these up to a few months ago. We'll see if he's going to continue, but we got notification bells on for every single channel. And then, so here's an idea about those things too. Lewis Acre Farm Karma is mentioning deals on those software programs as well. So Black Friday is coming up, right, in a month from now, or a little bit less, 3 weeks or something like that. And even online services, software, I'm not sure about Canva, but things like Photoshop, Microsoft Office, who knows, right, might have deals. So if there's a program or an app that you've been thinking about using but haven't because of the expense, a lot of these companies offer deep discounts beyond 30% off, especially if you go for a year and stuff like that. So it's something to think about. But if you were going to subscribe to a service anytime soon, that's just a hint so that you can possibly hold off, if it makes sense, just to try to catch those deals, because they should be coming out soon. And if you start to just do some Google searches or even ChatGPT about what kind of deals are coming for Black Friday, they might have already all been announced. Social media grow show's coming up. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description, you'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. And pardon me while I'm just making a note for myself. And yeah, actually, is it Lewis Acre Farm Karma? I think makes a another point as well. Sometimes they offer a discount to come back. So what happens is, I've seen this many times, happens with Amazon when I'm leaving like Audible. I've mentioned to everybody I listen to a lot of audiobooks and stuff like that. And I don't pay for Audible all the time. So what I'll do is when I need it, when I'm done a book and it's time for another book, then I'll pay for it. But then I cancel in case I don't need it again, because, you know, every penny matters, right? Every dollar matters. Why would we overpay for something if we didn't have to? But it's something we don't think about. We just sign up for something, think we have to keep it, but you don't. Same with StreamYard. I don't use StreamYard all the time, so I don't pay for it all the time. I pay for it only when I need it, and I think that's fair. So, Social Media Growth Show is actually live right now. I didn't realize they were already on. They're on just about every single day, and they do a live stream similar to what we're doing here. When we look at what they've got going on, you'll see that the screen here in Superchat was actually inspired by what Commander Vlogs was doing so many years ago, and he continues that today. I'll give him his thumbs up over there. So you'll meet new friends and family members over there in a very similar way to what you will here. And he's been a friend since the beginning. Since we started Superchat, there used to be hundreds, if not thousands, of grow streams and grow channels. You know, some good, some maybe, you know, thought about not so much and this and that. But Social Media Growth Show is somebody who's become a dear friend, even behind the scenes. Carl and I talk frequently and have done a couple things behind the scenes together as well, which is cool. I'm always thankful for the friendships that are made. It's the number one thing everybody says they love about YouTube, and I have to agree. When we look at shorts on the channel, 12,000, 19,000. Which is great to see. And then the live streams are where the magic happens over here. But I'll show you his original channel. Commander Vlogs is the creator behind the Social Media Growth Show. So he's now got over 40,000 subscribers. He's been at this for quite a long time. He brings pure variety to his channel. He could be unboxing, he could be doing a taste test review, he could be working out, taking us on an adventure, vacationing, or traveling, or giving us a behind the scenes look at the Social Media Growth Show. Some of his shorts have gotten into even 400,000 views, 400,000. 1 over 3 on almost 3.5 million views, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. So lately he's been giving us a behind the scenes look at the Social Media Growth Show. But he's also monetized here. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get over there. So hopefully everybody will connect with Commander Vlogs. I think what I'm going to do, pardon me, is go back to his Social Media Growth Show. I'm just going to save this, and we'll see if he's still going to be on after we finish Tuber Chat in what I'm guessing is going to be another 45 minutes. And but I will go to the Stock Explorer. I promised the Stock Explorer I was going to raid them if they're on. So we'll do that for today. But we're all friends. Everybody knows us. Everybody, yeah. StreamYard as well. I could say one more thing about StreamYard. So I was paying for it and using it when they pulled the maneuver that they did of forcing everybody into an upgrade. I think that's a really shady way to have done that. I like when companies are transparent and say, hey, we've got, you know, features, or we're going to take something away or whatever, but not charge double and then rely on everybody else, because I paid for it for a few months. And then I realized I could probably downgrade for what I use it for. And I think most of us here are going to be able to use the lower price plan for around 25 bucks instead of 50. I'm in Canada, so it might be more expensive for me, or it might sound more expensive. The Canadian dollar's weaker than the States always by almost, 25 to 30 cents. Izzy Ska is up on the screen right now, and they draw Social Media Grow Show. Sorry, I wanted to say thank you for those super chats, by the way, because he did more than one. He's done that countless times before. Izzy Ska is going to talk to us about some digital art as well. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. So Zoom is obviously a huge platform as well, but this is something I've used many times. This is what I was using on our copyright-free music channel. And for those of you who were there, especially in the beginning, I've been running that channel now for a couple of years. We turned the live stream off right now. I don't know what I'll do about that. But we were live streaming 24 hours a day, and that was going on Twitch and DLive and Trovo and YouTube at the same time. Restream is just another service that allows the same thing, and I've seen a couple people over the years use it for the same way that we use StreamYard panels. You can have people on there, puts the chat together from a few platforms and stuff, so that's another option. Izzy Scott is up on the screen right now. I said they were going to talk to us about some graphic art or digital art, and they talk about that on their About section to let us know that they're going to show us some of the tools, talk about those, and they've always been known for this elaborate graphic art on their channel in banners, avatars, as well as the thumbnails on their videos. I'm just going to grab the latest video, put this into my catch-up list, and this is cool, a collaboration between Pendar and Izzy Scott. Pendar's been a friend a long time as well. And they often have animations with music in their videos. They bring some shorts out. These are pure variety over here. And then they've got live streams. This is where the magic happens on this channel. And you can see they're on frequently, usually at least a few times a week. And the conversation can go anywhere once they start. They usually start with a topic. But the live streams go on anywhere from 2 hours to 3 hours. Sometimes they're even, I'm not sure if they were narrating the last time I was there or just telling a story. It sounded more like they were reading. I think they were narrating. And then let's spin the wheel. And Canadian Family Life, let's see what they've got going on. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. I didn't know you could have 50 on Zoom. If I'd ever heard that, I didn't remember. I can't even remember if I've used it. I may have been in something on Zoom a long time ago. I think like either something outside of YouTube kind of thing. But I might be mistaken too. I can't remember accurately. I like to check out every platform. So then I can't remember sometimes whether I did something that was 3 years ago or 4 years ago, as opposed to, my memory's just not what it once was, let's just say. So Canadian Family Life is up on the screen. This is Tiffany's channel. She's another fellow Canadian, obviously, from New Brunswick. She gets her whole family involved in the channel, and what you're going to find here is a lot of grocery hauls, a lot of cooking videos, cook-off challenges with her husband Chris from Chris's Creation Fun as well. They talk about a container garden. This is an interesting video. So I was working on the computer while I watched this, but I did watch this today. But this rollover that I'm showing you gives you an idea. Look at how immaculately tidy and clean they keep this. Now, I don't know if they've like improved that ever since I started talking about it, because Tiffany's here just about every day and I make such a big deal about it. But my father, for instance, is crazy about plants. He has like, 50 of them, and I'm not exaggerating, like in an apartment. And I see what it takes to look after that stuff, and I cannot imagine it's an easy feat to keep something so immaculately clean like that and tidy like they do. We see a lot of that on their channel. They've also got Happy Mail videos and shout outs for other channels. Like I said, the whole family gets involved. Tiffany did an exceptional job of cutting a trailer out of their channel highlights with the song. This is it right here. that Jake Huston made. I was actually with him this morning on his channel as well. I think Tiffany was there as well. I was just in there for a few minutes. He was on this morning. Jake Huston is a longtime friend. I believe his real name is Jake Hudson, but the channel is Jake Huston if you're looking for it. I'll play his song actually shortly here so everybody can hear it. But he's done that for a lot of our friends, and it came as a surprise to me. Done tons of them, dozens already. But Canadian Family Life did an exceptional job of cutting a trailer with that video, so you can really get an idea of what their channel is about. Now, this is one of the fastest growing channels we've seen in the Tuber Chat family. Tiffany surpassed 3,000 subscribers in barely around a year. And then they use the promotion system to pump up to about 10,000. But this creator was already growing rapidly, and I believe the biggest reason for that is because Tiffany is so supportive to others. Another creator who we have to say seems to be everywhere all the time, not to mention they're here with us in Tuber Chat literally for the entirety of the stream almost every day. I know we got a few friends who are, and I don't mention it all the time, but it's just something to talk about once in a while. She's got some shorts here, mostly outdoors, but again in New Brunswick, giving us all 4 seasons. 2,500 views, 2,800 views, 5,500 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. So Tiffany goes on usually once or twice a month now. I'm betting that she's going to do one soon. So we've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other, and hopefully we'll catch her for the next one. And then Tiffany has been featured. You recognize her probably because she's been featured on so many other channels, literally dozens of other channels. I don't know if she's doing as many StreamYard panels these days as she was even a year ago when she first came into Tuber Chat, but she I recognized her like we would see her on so many other channels. It's a great way to grow. When you're featured on somebody else's channel, you're almost guaranteed to grab a handful of subscribers. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Yeah, it's, I'm sorry, Makeup Mom and Son, that's Michelle. She's been a dear friend all this time. She's here as a beloved and dedicated moderator as well as a member. And, yeah, so our thoughts are with Caden, of course. I'm sure he'll be fine, but, you know, when we have fevers and stuff like that, this is the season for it. I don't know what it is the last couple of weeks, but a lot of people that I've talked to in my area, which is between Niagara Falls and Toronto and Ontario, have been talking about being sick and having sinus infections and getting colds and flus, and dare I say I heard the word COVID this week again and everything else. So, yeah, forgive me while I roll my eyes while I say that, but this is the season. So we just have to like take extra care. Nobody needs me to tell them that, but it's just something, you know, we can remind each other about, is like, hey, maybe we want to think about what we're eating, wash our hands 100 more times a day and stuff like that. But it matters, right? Absolutely it does. I've done everything I can to not feel sick for a long time. It seems to be working, but I promise you I wash my hands like a fiend. Not that that's the only thing in the world, but you know, it's a big part of it, I think, right? Greenland Quilter is up on the screen right now. And when we look at this channel, this is somebody who recently started coming into the Tuber Chat family. They're already at almost 1,500 subscribers, though, and monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including Super Chats, memberships when we get there. So I'm still getting to know their channel. The last few videos I've seen from them, including one that I watched today, was these ones from Greenland. These are really cool because it'll show you not just the glaciers and icebergs, I'm assuming, glaciers for sure, but also other greenery and scenery around Greenland. But I'm going to watch something a little bit different this time. I'm going to take a different video. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. This is an unbox and sewing tutorial by the look of it. I hope I remember. I haven't sewn anything in a long time, but when I was in grade school, between grade 6, 7, and 8, part of our home economics program was having to sew a few things. I'm trying for the life of me to remember what on earth we made. One year, I made a stuffed animal, it was a little bunny rabbit. I made that. I remember going to the store, getting the pattern, learning to sew, stuffing the thing and everything else. I think I gave it to my sister. And then I can't remember what I did the next year. The last year, which I did not complete the project quite, but it was to make a tracksuit. Of our own. We're making our own clothes, which is really, really cool. I remember being jealous too, because I, goofed around too much in the class to finish the thing the way I should have. But a couple of my friends were wearing their tracksuits on the last day, and it was the coolest thing for everybody in the school. You can imagine somebody 13 years old that just made their own outfit, and I'm talking jacket, pants, the whole thing, right? So I remember that. I can't remember what we did in the second year. Greenland Quilter Katie has got shorts on the channel as well. These have gotten into 2,000, 2,800 views and beyond, and then live streams on the channel as well. When we go through here, I don't think I've caught you yet for a live stream. Am I right about that? If I dig through here, I don't see the red lines yet. Yeah, hopefully I'll catch you for one of these. They seem to be doing these fairly frequently, every couple of weeks or so. So hopefully I'll catch you. I got the notification bell on for every single channel. And they've been in Greenland for 13 years after being in Florida. So that's got to be quite a change. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Yeah, I haven't heard much about it, so I have lots to learn from Greenland Quilter Katie. Paranormal Poet is coming up right now. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. Paranormal Poet is up on the screen right now. This is another channel I'm still getting to know. I just watched a video from them this morning. It sounded to me like they were narrating. Yes, there you go, 24 years old. They're a narrator. Which is really, really cool. I used to work in radio, so I'm always fascinated by voiceover artists and stuff like that. As I've gotten older, my voice has matured. I could probably do a little bit of voicing, but not some of the warm, soothing stuff that some of the people do that do narration and audiobook reading and some of my radio friends. I could probably do radio now, but when I was younger, it just wasn't quite there yet. But it's interesting, well, at least to me, I used to have to coach people on how to talk properly, pull your voice and project and everything else, even though I wasn't the one doing it, and they were all professionals. But that was the job. When I worked in radio, my full-time gig, besides being a DJ and this and that, was to make commercials. So when you hear the commercials on the radio that nobody likes, I used to make those all day. Paranormal Poet is up on the screen right now, and they've actually got a premiere coming up. That's going to be, soon. That's going to be actually in another hour from now. So that'll be another 15-minute video. We know there's going to be fresh content on the channel. They've already got almost 2,800 subscribers. So I'm looking forward to getting to know the channel even more. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to take that video and put it into my catch-up list because I won't get to that till tomorrow. It's very late for me now. It's going to be 1 in the morning by the time I hit the pillow tonight. When we get to shorts over here, we've gotten into 300 and almost 400 views, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. So they got a live stream, and this will be right after the premiere by the look of it, or shortly after. So they're going to be live in another hour and a half, something like that. Hopefully everybody will connect with Paranormal Poet, and thank you for coming back in. They've been here at least a couple of times now. And then Lewis Acre Farm Karma worked in public radio in college for a couple of years. I was very lucky to work at a handful of radio stations. A couple of small appearances on smaller stations for a while. But I worked for 3 major radio stations in Toronto and a couple more after. That was just lucky. Right place, right time. Those stations came into existence right around the time that I was 22, 23 years old. And you can imagine. Just Peter, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then, I must be mistaken, Paranormal Poet. And let's spin the wheel. We'll see who's coming up next. I'm going to fill the wheel with a few more names right now. What we're going to do, though, is go on a break for 3.5 minutes. I'm just going to grab a drink. Everybody could do the same. Right before we go for that 3.5 minutes, though, I'm going to play one more clip, the last one for today. This is from our interview series. These are videos on the channel now. These go on anywhere from an hour to 2 hours in an interview style, where I ask the creators that are featured for their opinion without adding a lot of my own. All of the creators that are featured are longtime friends of ours. They've been with us for 3 years or longer. Every one of them has long passed their 10,000 subscribers. Well, thank you for that. So it's interesting that we're talking about shorts already. We've got a lot to go over today. But since you've mentioned it, that's one thing that I was planning to ask, is the idea that you can give us, regardless of, like, you know, a lot of people are going to have different opinions about whether shorts are helpful. Some creators have broken off into separate shorts channels and things like this. But in your experience, now going through what you have with shorts, what advice can you give to somebody just in the beginnings of their YouTube journey before their 10,000 subscribers, so that they can have the best chance of making shorts work for them as opposed to against them?
So ultimately, you've got to have a passion in what you're doing. There's no point in, say, I'm going to do videos on fixing cars when you have no idea on how to fix cars.
Yes.
Okay. I am more shocked at what people are willing to sit there and watch than actually do it. I did over the Christmas period, I was given a huge model to build and I live streamed it. It's not quite finished yet. I've still got another day on it, so it'll be another like 8 years. So I was basically doing 4 to 6 hour live streams of building this kit, and people were turning up every day, having me in their background or in the background, watching me and listening to me while I was effing and jeffing at this kit. You know what I mean? And if they've got a passion for what you're doing, they're more likely going to watch that passion from you and push. So if you are going to set up a YouTube channel today, if your passion is walking, record it. But make sure that you envelop and make sure that what you're saying and what you put in the video is aimed at the audience. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I do a YouTube video, I don't think I'm talking to 50,000 viewers.
Yes.
I'm talking to one person.
Right.
So if you create a video of your passion, make it personal that you're talking to that one person that's watching you. If you see what I mean. You know, you are just talking to one person. So create the video for your best friend. So he's going to say, you know, and people will become endowed by that. They'll listen to that because you'll be like their friend as well. So that's my one tip, I think, is to make sure that you make the videos not personal in your life, personal about what's on the footage, and that you're making that video for your best friend.
Right. That's great advice too. Yeah. Each person, is looking through their own set of eyes, regardless of who they're with.
Yeah.
It's funny what Lewis Acre Farm Karma says. Yeah, you're right. That happens for everybody. Live stream usually starts with a vibrant audience in the beginning, no matter what size audience it is, and then things slow down as the live stream continues. Here in Tuber Chat, I never for 3 years used to do these really late live streams. It would be rare, if I remember right, to do one at 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern. But this year, we used to do a schedule, actually. I used to do like at least days, if not times, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But a while back, I started having trouble with my voice, and the live stream started to get around to 2.5 hours, now 3 hours. And my voice couldn't take it. So the problem is I'd lose my voice. I wouldn't have it back for a week and a half. One time twice I lost it for a month, I think, right? And that's a real headache because I can't do it without it. So I started to mix them up, and I try never to do 2 Tuber Chats in a row. So we're on today, we won't be on tomorrow, we'll be on Saturday, won't be on Sunday, we'll be on Monday. That led to me having to do these late ones because we're in the weekdays and I work all day. Like I was working today, and so I had to do this tonight. Things are going to start to ease up a little bit more. Somebody pointed out to me today, I can't remember who, about the fact that the clocks go back, which means we lose another hour of light. So today I think the sun went down just after 6 p.m. After Saturday it'll be after 5 p.m. for us here. So we can't be working until 9 o'clock at night usually. So that's just an idea. These late ones slow down towards the later part, but also ever since I started adding in these breaks, a lot of times I imagine people are doing the same thing. Go get a drink, go get something to eat, but there's a lot of other content on, and because Tuber Chat has always been more focused on the Eastern time zone, a lot of our friends, it's late. They've gone to bed. You know what I mean? It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Some of our friends in the UK stay up really late and things like that. But these are just ideas. And then Lewis Acre Farm Karma also mentioned the idea of doing a marathon live, the idea of chasing some watch hours. So here's the thing. One live stream, no matter how busy it is not going to do it, right? And everybody probably understands that already. What I would recommend is the idea of thinking about a series, right? And if you can do that, and possibly use the multi-stream platform. The multi-stream platform that StreamYard introduced this year is the biggest thing for watch hours. It's the #1 reason why we're seeing channels monetized faster than ever before. Plus, when YouTube cut the restriction from 1,000 subscribers to 500 subscribers, they didn't make it twice as easy. They made it like orders of magnitude easier, if we want to put it that way, right? So that's just an idea. So it may not seem like it, but I promise you, it's much easier today than it was 7 years ago when I started. Just like it was easier for me than it was for those who started 7 years before that, right? And things get easier as time goes on, but that system allowed more people to grab more watch hours faster than ever before. So doing panels, especially in a multi-stream format, helps everybody. But yes, absolutely, live streams, especially lengthy ones. And if you can do it consistently, consistency is always key. That will help because it will build up. If you follow anybody who's live frequently, like, Butler Family Farms on every Monday night, Rambling with the Brooms is on every Thursday and Friday. Brown Girl Bell is on every Sunday and Thursday. They've been on for years, right? But those all have vibrant audiences in the live stream. And like every other one, they slow down as the live stream goes on. But this is some of the stuff that I monitor as well while we're here in Tuber Chat. We know that things got unmanageable. And even though lots of our friends like Lewis Acre Farm Karma, who are here for every live stream, have seen the same 8 clips over and over and over again. One of the reasons I continue to play them is because I know it slows the stream down. So it makes it possible to start promoting it a little bit harder again. You notice the beginnings of the last few have been great, and we're almost back to our average of 100 people coming through every live stream again. I'm sure Saturday will be out of control. But these are just ideas. 636 in Kenya, thank you for that, just Peter. And thank you, all that fluff and stuff from Australia. She's been a dear friend for about 4 years as well. And then, yeah, Lewis Acre Farm Karma, that's how everybody starts, though. I promise you, I've had, in the beginning of my YouTube journey, I had premieres that had nobody. I believe I had a premiere that nobody showed up for one day. Live streams in the very beginning, yeah, 2-3 people you're talking to for an hour kind of thing, right? And lots of people go through that. It's gotten a little bit easier. Things move a little bit faster now, but this is just an idea. And things build up, though. If you ever saw Garden State Gardener, I know he does a lot of giveaways, but his live stream's out of control. Hilda DC is a perfect example. This is a creator that's here with us occasionally. She's been a beloved and dedicated moderator on this channel for 4 years now, or close to it. She's one of the most encouraging creators that I've met in my YouTube journey, but she has an extremely strong-willed personality while being as kind, considerate, thoughtful, empathetic, sympathetic, and everything else as anybody would imagine. She is a dear, dear person, a dear, dear soul, and a dear friend. But when you go to her channel, it doesn't matter if she streams once a month or once a week. She has got an explosive chat. And she's constantly like, oh, hey, good to see you. People who are there every time. People who are there, like, occasionally. So these are just examples. Pardon me. But as time goes on, it'll help. The other thing, too, is a recommendation for everybody if you're thinking about live streaming is one of the things that can really help the beginning of a live stream and the retention to stop people from leaving right away is preparation in advance. If you're really ready to start the stream and then you've got all your ducks in a row, everything's in front of you, make notes if you need to and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with looking at your notebook if you have to and looking away from the camera and everything. But being prepared before you start can really help. That way it's all content from the first minute. You got to remember, even with YouTube videos, we really only have like 30 seconds to hook people, and I promise you I don't do any better than anybody else, but experience and consistency, helps. That's why Superchat is so strong as a live stream. I don't know if we had 10 people at least, like before the live stream even started today waiting. It used to be much more. Now that I'm promoting the streams in advance, again, it's starting to pick up. But these are just ideas. I just want to share this stuff with everybody. So, pardon me. Just Jason Keto and more. Another fellow Canadian, another over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. He happens to be monetized. And now, well over 3,000 subscribers. And I say of channels of this size that there must be much to be learned from them, as well as entertained and inspired by because of what they must have been through in their YouTube journey to get to a level of 3,000 and beyond. I added a couple names to the wheel, by the way. Gloria's Platter, Cabaret Gaming, M&T Living It are on there with the Numismaniac and Wheats Art, of course. Oh, Hilda did I missed her video. I think she dropped one today, and I missed that one, but she also did one yesterday. So it's weird because she will sometimes not post for a month, and then, 2 days in a row, or a short or something like that. But she's just been so supportive to other people and so consistent in the beginning for so long that she could do anything she wants now on the channel. I've been talking about this for years. She's one of the fastest rolling chats. Her, the Stock Explorer, Scratch and Pete PA, Garden State Gardener, and VS Speaks Royally are like all of them. Their chats just fly. And the biggest part is for supporting others, for sure. Lots of people are doing the vertical streams, but all that fluff and stuff, would love to know if anybody's had success with that. We see a few channels here that have. Just Jason Keto and more is going to talk to us about healthy eating, healthy living, especially when it comes to a keto-based diet or lifestyle. He often changes up the look of the channel. His banner and avatar have been updated with these Chaffle characters. He's ready for Halloween, obviously. On his channel, we're going to find a ton of recipes, all easy to follow, simple, literally with only a handful of ingredients, and a lot of product reviews. This can help us understand the ingredients that we're either going to use or find in some of the products that are marketed towards a keto-based diet or lifestyle. He's got a lot of guests that join him on his channel. That was his, I think, latest live stream or latest video. He also gets their life experience, their tips, their tricks, their trials, their tribulations are part of the conversation. He's got shorts on his channel that give us a hint about healthy looking grilling shorts, getting into 5,000 and 6,000 views, one over 22,000. And then live streams, more informative content. I thought it was a video, it was a live stream. I'm just gonna put this in my replay though. I need some motivation, literally. I've been doing badly. I cooked all weekend last weekend, and I started using like all low salt stuff and everything else. I just got the crock pot out and made like chili and soup or whatever, but I haven't eaten as much of it this week as I thought I might. It's great because you can put that in the freezer, you can hang on to that for a while, but I need some motivation to keep it up. So I'm going to watch this video. Just Jason Keto and More has lots of guests on the channel. He's on every week as a minimum. Thursday at 7:30 Eastern. Once in a while he'll do something like a surprise here. But then as well, cook-along live streams. He's done a few of these. These might be popping up once a month or so. I've been lucky to meet up with Just Jason Keto and More a couple of times actually. And definitely another dynamic creator, but somebody who wholeheartedly cares to help other people and have influence on other people. He also heads out hundreds of miles away to go to places like Keto Palooza, and he did this last year, but he brought us another series now of videos that have really informative content, and hopefully everybody will check that as well. Let's spin the wheel, and we'll see who's coming up next. M&T Living It is a long time friend, actually. They've been with us for at least 3 years. It could be 4 by now. Let's see what they've got going on. Usually delicious looking content on their channel. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. I'm laughing here in the background if you can hear that. They got a thumbnail here that looks tantalizing, actually, that simple sandwich, but it's just an egg sandwich, that's all. And I laugh about that because I often, if I'm in a restaurant and I'm ordering whatever, I'll often say like, I need a sandwich. But I just do it for fun, right? Like just to drive everybody bananas, let's just say. I'm just going to grab their latest video. They take us for adventures and things like that as well. A lot of family togetherness on this channel. But one of the things that's outstanding is the delicious looking content, and has served them well for a lot of their shorts. A lot of these have gotten into well over 5,000 views, but they got a couple here now, one at 20,000, one at 50,000, and then live streams on the channel. So it's been a month since they did the last one. They do these sporadically, so it looks like about once a month we can expect another stream. We got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content as we can from everyone. Thank you, Butler Family Farm. Tornado watches now, my dear goodness. The wind was almost knocking me over today, just tonight at the end of the night. I'm in Canada, obviously. I'm over by Toronto today, but my dear goodness, you know, we get the aftermath usually of things like hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff that happen in the States. Missouri's a little bit far from us, but yeah, hopefully you and Susan are going to do what you need to stay safe. I'm sure you will. And Wheat's Art is up here right now. So this is a creator called Wheat and Shaw. They got 2 different channels, and this is where they're going to feature a lot of the artwork that they make. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And when we look at Wheat's Art, we can look through the videos here. I'm just going to grab one of the latest videos. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. This is another entertaining creator, actually. They bring a lot of humor into their productions. But when we get to the shorts, you get an idea of some of the art that they're bringing to us on this channel. Now, this is one of two. They got 415 subscribers here. We'd love to push them towards the 500 we know they're thinking about. When we put Wheat and Shaw up, we see this creator bringing pure variety, actually, and we'll have a look at their channel and see, oh, pardon me, what they've got going on. Why on earth doesn't it want to come up right away? Oh, Wheat and Shaw. If I would spell properly, it would probably work better. There we go. This creator is working on 700 subscribers on their original channel, and then they let us know it features artwork, random collections such as food, coins, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards, I'm sure, mocks, currency collections, which is interesting, like the Numismaniac possibly, bringing us precious metals and numismatic collectible coins. Wheat and Shaw as well has got pure variety here, sometimes fish and chips, which is interesting. What did I see them eating KFC? I gotta find that live stream, I think it was, right? Was it a live stream or was it a video? Oh, it was this here. Yes, the end of my life KFC video. That's what I was joking about earlier in the stream today. And Wheat and Shaw as well is bringing us 3,900 views and 5,000 views on a couple of these shorts, which is great to see. Bella's Whisper Farmstead Kristen, good to have you back in the chat. When we look at Wheat and Shaw, we also see live streams that are frequent. So just an hour ago, right before Tuber Chat, probably they did that. And then they seem to be doing these really, really frequently, almost on every day lately. So hopefully everybody will connect with Wheat and Shaw. They're here with us just about every live stream. I know not everybody can be, so I certainly appreciate every moment everybody can spend when you can. And then the Numismaniac is up right now. So Social Media Growth Show's on. The Stock Explorer is still on. I should actually be dropping their link. I'm going to do that right now. So we know that Social Media Growth Show is on. I've given them a couple raids lately, but Nora is also on. Another beloved and dedicated moderator. We're not always in an opportunity to raid them, so I'll do that right now. I'll drop the link for anybody that wants to catch up with them. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. And yeah, you know, I wish I have to huff and puff and shake my head, because I wish I had kept some of the cards I used to have. I used to collect especially hockey cards, much like baseball cards and things like that. But some of these things that came out after, Magic the Gathering, these Pokemon, like, you know, I'm too old for that, but my son and my nephew were right at the right age to catch that, and I didn't understand how popular that stuff was going to be. When I was 18 years old, one of my first full-time jobs was working at a toy store, a competitor to Toys R Us, actually, and I worked there for a year. And somebody said to me at the time, it was just my job to stock shelves. Sometimes I did cashier and take deliveries and stuff, but just the same stuff anybody does in a retail environment, right? And somebody pointed out, hey, the Barbie dolls, they come out with this special Barbie every year for Christmas. What you should do is buy a couple of these things and keep them and never ever open them. And 20 years from now or 30 years from now, you're going to be able to sell them for a fortune. And I was like, I'm not spending $20 or $30 on that right now. Keep in mind, this is like 1990, right? And boy, do I ever wish I did. Oh my goodness. And I promise you, every toy or collectible I ever had, I just destroyed. We used to take our G.I. Joes. We got these special ones with parachutes. You throw them in the air and they fall slowly. So we throw firecrackers in them and just blow them to smithereens. And there's nothing left. Every toy I ever had got destroyed or sold. I sold them to my friends and stuff. But at the time, with no packaging or anything. So no fortune was made there. So collecting is an interesting thing. Now I find myself collecting crypto, so I try to be careful with that. All that fluff and stuff, thank you so much for a super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. She's been another dear friend of about 4 years, and she's done that kind of thing countless times before as well. So I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We'll put all that fluff and stuff up onto the screen next, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. And then, thinking about getting into collecting, some of that took off. Gary V, for those of you who follow Gary Vaynerchuk, he's been talking about that for a couple of years now, and he was telling everybody, watch what happens, sports cars are going to get big. A friend of mine used to collect Wayne Gretzky rookie cards. He used to drive all over the city trying to find as many as he could. And I don't know if those are still as valuable as they were at the time. But you think about that stuff, vinyl records, which I'm crazy about, and if you can keep the stuff in mint condition, you know, these collectible cards and games, especially if you get rare stuff, my goodness, the fortunes that a few people are likely going to make. Now, the numismaniac, who's from Edmonton, Alberta, is going to talk to us and with us about numismatic collectible coins, as well as precious metals and other valuable collectibles. There's actually a lot more on the channel, lots of history, and this creator really gets involved in the community, it looks like, as well. Well over 1,000 subscribers now, which is great to see. You can read about them in the About section here. But numismatic collectible coins and precious metals are very different, have value for different reasons, and they'll be able to describe that to you when you get there. I am a huge fan of precious metals, especially because those things finally started to move in the last 5 years or so. The numismaniac is showing us some shorts here. One of them's got 1,700 views, but more of that famous Canadian winter weather that I keep talking about, and then live streams on the channel as well. This is where you might find a bit of history. Lots of StreamYard panels. They've often got guests, and I've found them almost narrating, right, some of this stuff, which is really interesting. The Numismaniac also, over the summer, did this really cool thing where they were doing a challenge series. And you could see all the thumbnails. They were doing tons of this. They would send everybody off to do a little bit of research, learn a thing or two, and then do some giveaways on the channel, which was really, really cool. I just want to look at the shorts again for a second, see if I can find... There was something I was looking at. Yeah, they got so many collectibles here. My mom was collecting spoons. She collected a few things. My mom's still with me, of course, but she has collections of spoons as well as bells. If any of you have seen those porcelain bells, they're always in the tourist shops and stuff. So, you know, for a lifetime, anywhere that I would go, I haven't been many places, but if I'd go, I'd bring back spoons or these bells and stuff like that. She's got like a collection of spoons that's just out of control. She must have 100 that people give them. My parents collected a few things. And then... Oh, goodness, yeah, Glorious Platter. I joke about this all the time, too. I still have all my vinyl records from when I was a DJ. I did that for a very long time, and I was like a real addict. I had a full-time job to pay for my records and a part-time job to pay for my pizza and beer. And my records, I still have like 4,000 of them, but it has costed far more to store them than it ever costed to buy them. I thought I was going to sell them once, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm sure one of these days I'm going to, but my goodness, I've got, if you want to know how many 4,000 is, so a milk crate in the States, right, where your milk crates are a different size than ours in Canada, but the United States ones are the right ones. You can put records into a milk crate. It comfortably holds 80. So if you think about 4,000 records, that's 50 milk crates full of records. And yes, I have them in storage, and I have for all these years. I got some of them out. I got about 100 records like in the house or in the apartment or whatever, but the rest of them are all put away. But my dear goodness, is it something else carrying those things around. And I'll tell you how I got lazier over a lifetime too. I used to have to carry like 4 crates of records into my gigs when I was DJing, and I had no problem with that. And then when I switched to CDs and all I had to do was bring like a binder with me and my headphones, I'd complain. Like, oh, I gotta carry these CDs around all the time. I can't wait until I switch to a computer. Now, when I have to do a favor, I'm actually gonna do one next month again. I pull out the computer and I'm like, oh, I gotta drag the computer, and it's a laptop. It doesn't take anything, but boy, my laziness really comes out. And then, yeah, Greenland Quilter Katie. So it's interesting because what I tell people about, like, let's say my own vinyl record collection, forgive me, we're not going to go too far overtime here, but just for the sake of saying, the problem with my personal vinyl record collection is that the records that people would want the most, or the ones that mean the most to me, are the ones that I played the most. So they're destroyed. They're like, you know, not destroyed, like I can listen to them, but nobody else wants to buy them. They're very much used, right? The best records would be. But if you keep the stuff in mint condition, people can use those to trade and sell. If you've never seen a website called Discogs, as in discographies, if you go to this website, Discogs, you're going to find all kinds, not just vinyl records, CDs and cassette tapes and stuff too, but this is where people sell to people. So it's almost like eBay, but only for music, let's say. But that's a website you can check out. All that fluff and stuff is up on the screen right now. There's a longtime dear friend. This is somebody who's been out on the water a million times. They've often taken us fishing. I'm way behind with them. I'm just going to grab the latest video. Even this one's a few months old, but I'll put this into my catch-up list so I can catch up the smallest bit. But they also do a lot of cooking videos, and they give us a chance to get to know them. They really started producing a lot of videos for a while there, and they take us outdoors. Look at this, snorkeling and everything else now. This creator brings shorts on the channel, and now after all this time, these have really moved. 14,000, 15,000, and 16,000 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. So they were on just a few weeks ago. They do these sporadically, but it seems often. They get into like a phase and do a few in a week, and they do these once or twice a month. So hopefully we'll catch them. They're monetized, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. We got notification bells on for every single channel, and that's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. They're working on 10,000 subscribers now, which is great to see. Yeah, I still have all my cassette tapes. I probably have too many VHS and DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. That's interesting, Gloria's Platter. Yeah, I have my... these are blank, empty sleeves for the records that I have on my wall. I'll show you this one more time. There's just a handful of records. I just put them there to have something on the wall, because what on earth am I going to put on the wall? But the empty sleeves with the records in them are here, just so they're not weighing down the frames on the wall. Of course, we don't want to damage them or have them fall or whatever. But I've been taking exceptional care of the records I've been buying over the last 10 years. And I still buy, not often. 2-3 records. Sometimes people give them to me for like a birthday present or a Christmas present, and stuff like that. Work gets in the way of your perfect life. Yes, we're all living the dream. All that fluff and stuff. And then Camera Gaming is up on the screen as well. Oh, wow. Greenland Quilter Katie has a handful of vinyl up there as well. When we look at Cabaret Gaming, we see a lot of video gameplay. There's another friend who's been with us for probably 4 years, right around the same time as all that fluff and stuff came in. Gloria's Platter too, actually. When we look at this creator, we see that they're working on 5,000 subscribers now. They are monetized, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They mix up the video gameplay, but it's always popular titles. Lately, they've been doing a lot of walkthroughs, so they'll play like one game for a few weeks and then move on to another game. But there's tons on the channel, almost 2,000 videos now. Shorts are over here. They've gotten into 46,000, 74,000 views. I think those are still getting views, actually. I feel like the numbers are climbing. They've got live streams over here as well. I've caught them many times. I caught them a few days ago. They're mixing up the gameplay here, but they're always doing a great job of keeping up with the chat while they're playing. Cabaret Vlogs and Adventures is another channel from this creator where they bring us tips, tricks, tech, and tutorials. all from that same creator. Some of these are slightly advanced, but a lot of the content here will give you tips and tricks that almost anybody can use, especially around electronic devices and software services and stuff. And then when we get into shorts, we see they've gotten into 1,000 views, 1,200 views, which is great to see. They're experimenting with a few ideas there, and then live streams over here as well. I haven't caught them here for a while, but they do these sporadically. So just for fun, we'll spin the wheel. I'm just going to drop the link again. I should have done it a couple more times, but so like I said, Social Media Growth Show is still probably on. And let me see if he's on. Yes, and the Stock Explorer is on. Both of them will let you meet more friends and family members when you're over there. And Gloria's Platter, look, save the best for last today. So thank you, everybody, for the time that you spent. I really do appreciate every moment everybody can be here. I know not everybody can be here for every single stream, and certainly not every time we're on for 3 hours. So I do appreciate every moment. I know we got a few friends that run the stream in the background, and I always appreciate that too. Everything helps. The algorithm and the motivation behind what we're doing and everything else. Glorious Platter, now over 7,000 subscribers. This is an interesting creator who also brings a lot of delicious looking content on their channel. They've evolved over the years and added more and more variety, but most of what you're going to find, the 90% here, is delicious looking content, and she does unique recipes because she's following, like, mostly you're going to find specific cultural dishes here. So she's got a bit of information on her about section. She's gotten into some travel now as well, it looks like. Shorts on the channel have gotten into 18,000 and 23,000 views. A little bit of variety mixed in with some of the cooking and baking and otherwise kitchen videos there, and then some live streams up to about a year ago. A few collaborations over here as well. So hopefully everybody will enjoy those. We got notification bells on in case she's going to do those again. But Gloria's Platter's been another authentic and enthusiastic creator here in the Tuber Chat family. So thank you, everybody, for the time that you spent. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Scratch and PPA and Makeup Mom and Son and our other moderators. The Stock Explorer, we're going to go over there and raid. I'm going to come over there and we'll leave this running for 3 more minutes like we always do, and then we're back on Saturday. That live stream's already published. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.